I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Quiet. Tropic Thunder. Some of us might not make it back.
What do you mean? Like, not on the same flight?
That pretty much sums it up. Okay, that was a great stream, everybody. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right, we're done.
How you doing today, Uninspired?
Man, I'm doing good. What about you, Dark Hour?
I can't complain too hard. I've been really excited about this one. Rewatched the movie last night, listened to the commentary, and we got some good guests today. We do. There's 3 of them, so I'm just going to get them in here as quickly as possible.
For sure. Well, hello, chat. Hi, we see all of you. Thank you guys for being here, of course. As Mr. Brown says, we wouldn't be anything without you. So
that is true. I'm still trying to get my what is it? The tact, the order of how to do things here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's only our second stream, so we'll get used to it. Hey, look,
my mic isn't on.
No, he's lying.
Oh, I mean, I can hear you. Can hear me, right?
Of course, I can.
Okay, well then I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
All right, man. Well, you should bring in the guests, shall we?
Okay. So first, we'll bring in a guy. I've streamed with this guy a couple times. He really knows his shit, though. I've every time I've talked to him, he knows his movies well, and he's very good at explaining what he's trying to say. It's Copa Catania. There you go.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
What's up, guys?
Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that. There's plenty of lines we're gonna get to. So,
classic. It's a classic. I mean, it is the last of its kind. It was right before all this political correctness took over the movie industry. It's the last comedy.
I mean, it was a Team America World Police. Yeah, that was 2004. So
yeah,
those are probably the last 2 to grace us with their presence when it came to comedy. So,
when it came to political incorrectness, absolutely. What I find funny about this movie, and I'm sure we're going to get into it deeper, but the biggest thing is you got a guy in blackface, but they all jumped on the fact that Ben Stiller used the retard word. So you have a character going, I'm right over here, I'm easy pickings, but no one wanted to jump on that. It's just the most fascinating thing. I can't wait to dive into this with you guys. Thank you for having me.
And I think I figured out my mic was facing the wrong direction. That might have been the problem. Do I sound better now?
Yeah, you do.
I had rearranged some things, and I guess I had it set to have the other side. So do I sound better, Mr. Brown?
Now, for me, you sound better.
Give me a thumbs up, Mr. Brown, if I sound better.
Yeah, he left.
He left already.
Can't deal with this audio.
Can't deal with this audio.
But thanks for coming on, Copa, man. It's great to have you, especially action movie connoisseur.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring out the rest.
Action comedy. It doesn't get better than that. Okay, so we got to bring out. She's the queen of Mr. Brown's channel, so I guess that makes her the queen of this channel as well. And don't worry, guys, she's married already, so you don't gotta worry about that. But we got Rennie L today.
Good afternoon, you guys.
And that is true, right? You are married, correct?
Yes. I don't know who started that rumor, but it is, alas, not just a rumor.
That rumor has been going around for a while. So
a long while, yeah.
Very, very happily
thanks for coming
married.
on.
Thanks for inviting me. This is one of my favorite movies ever. So you will never hear me say that I do not like this movie. It has a lot of stuff like what Copa was saying. Like, you can't say these things nowadays. So it's really nice to be able to enjoy something like this that was Psycho PC era. So yes,
this was really
movie.
Right on that cusp too when it started. The very beginning of the PC era was right after this movie came out. So
yeah, and I'm so glad I own a hard copy and not a digital copy, just a digital copy. So no matter what people do, you can't take my Blu-ray away from me. So
never say never. There might be people storm. Have you ever seen the movie Equilibrium?
Oh
no.
Equilibrium. They literally send armed special forces to seize artwork from people and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, looks like we just lost Maddie temporarily, so we'll bring him in a
second.
No! He's walking away.
It's important to own physical media over digital. because they could change it
there's
argument
yes.
at any time.
Yeah. I mean, look
Agreed,
at Star
100%.
Wars and George Lucas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So okay, it looks like Matt Cat is back. So I will bring him in right now. And when you bring in Matt Cat, you also bring in Linda. So we gotta listen to everything this guy's got to say.
What's up, nerds? Listen.
Listen.
This movie is fantastic. I love it. I love this movie. It's so good.
And don't worry, we're not worried about the ad dollars on this because it's going to get reposted to a channel that that isn't monetized anyway. So say all the words you want that aren't going to get us removed from it.
I almost vexed you guys and got you demonetized right away. So
well, like I said,
Oh,
don't worry about the ad money. It's the they can't take.
It's on my channel, so like Dark Hour doesn't care.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get any ad money for it anyway, because to my knowledge, you don't have mid stream ads going, so you wouldn't get.
Oh, those are the worst.
I do want to point out that Turk did give me my N-word pass. He renewed it till the end of the year, so maybe just maybe.
No. That one actually gets it ripped off of the service completely. So there's certain words that will get you like demonetized.
I think he did that on purpose.
That's my
I can't
pronoun,
use
though.
But
It's true.
But mine's
I
not with the
identify
hard
as that.
R, so
That's true. That's true. Like
Yeah.
I gave it to you. I gave it to you. So
Pump the
31st of
brakes.
December, 11:59.
Yeah.
So
All right.
right.
So let's. I think we got started. Let's.
Well,
I like to start
yeah.
with everybody kind of like what they remember about when the movie came out. So we'll go in order, starting with Copa down to Rennie, so on. So just like when the movie came out, what you remember about the time and stuff.
So I saw it in theaters opening weekend because I was a big fan of Ben Stiller and his direction since Cable Guy. So he did Zoolander, which had me practically rolling out of my seat on how funny that was. And then I saw what Downey Jr. was doing in the trailers, and I thought, oh my God, this has to be a laugh riot. So when I saw it in theaters opening weekend, I could not stop. I don't think there are so many jokes I missed because I was just laughing so hard at the last joke that was made. And then they kind of killed it with the Tom Cruise cameo because it leaked. But even then, like watching him perform in that cameo, which you can't even really call cameo, he's in it for a good portion of the film.
It's a
Just crushes it. Everybody crushes their roles in this movie. And the best part is Robert Downey Jr. Hands down, every time Lincoln Osiris is on the screen, I am in stitches about it. It's just so funny the way he performs.
Honestly, he no matter what character he's playing, because he plays multiple characters throughout the movie that are all technically the same person, just different
it's
levels.
Just when he's Link, though, I mean, it is just another level of comedy.
Well, Copa, you haven't seen the unrated or the director's cut, so that means that you haven't seen the trailers that play at the begining of the movie.
Oh no, they played in the theater first of all, and second of all, I believe they're on the theatrical cut as well.
Because they're very important to setting up the characters as who they are. But they had a lot of the other setup out.
Those trailers you had no idea were playing. So you got the regular trailers that for real movies that were coming out, and then you turn around and all of a sudden you're getting a commercial for Booty Sweat. You're getting
Bust the nuts.
And they tell you that it's at the concession stand too. So I wonder how many people got up and went to go try and buy one.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
They didn't.
And then you got what was Ben Stiller's
Scorcher.
Scorcher.
Don't worry. We're gonna get to that.
You got Scorcher 1 through 7. You had what you call it, Kurt Lazarus's movie with
Toby Maguire.
Devil's Alley.
Oh my God! And
I got stuff to talk about with that.
Yeah. So the booty sweat. You go, what the hell is this? But that was like I believe that was the first one. And then the trailers went on, and then you started realizing what they were doing, which was they're introducing the characters to you, but not their backstage personas, quote unquote, but the actual characters of their act, of what they're up to, what they're doing. It's a great introduction. It's fantastic. And you really get. I remember being in the theaters, and by the end of those trailers, you knew you were in for something special.
I'll get to that eventually. Don't worry, that's going to be mentioned. But yeah, so Rennie, what? Copa, like he might have took all the wind out of the sails on that one. But
I know, I was gonna say he's saying a lot of stuff I wanted to say. So yeah, when I first watched this, it was of course in the theater. I had no idea, did not pay attention to the news about this, so I didn't realize Tom Cruise was Les Grossman until the very end. I'm like, holy crap, that was Tom Cruise. And anyone who knows me knows I don't like Tom Cruise, so
luckily
for him
you
to
weren't
win
supposed
me
to
over.
like him.
No, but like for that character to win me over and me to just really fall in love with that character, I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. Pretty good acting right there. And kind of like Copa, I was when the movie started, but I didn't realize it was the movie starting. I'm like, what is with these like crazy vulgar trailers that you just don't get in a movie theater? I mean, I know this movie's rated R, but if anybody brings their kids, they're about to get crazy. And, I watched it in a half empty theater, so I didn't know like if there were going to be some people raging out. And then I was like, oh, this is just funny stuff attached to the movie. So I enjoyed it. I literally laughed my ass off the whole time. I think I choked on popcorn like throughout most of this movie because I was just laughing so hard, and I missed some of the dialogue, but it was still funny. Like I can't point out every single part, but I think everyone was perfect for the role that they played. And it's really hard to pinpoint one specific person that I think was better than everyone aside from Robert Downey Jr. just because he played so many multiple layers. But it was really funny. One of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and I'm glad to have the director's cut on Blu-ray. So,
Rennie, I think you have to answer this question though, Rennie. Why why do you hate Tom Cruise? Is it because he's short?
No, it's because he's psycho. Do you remember like all that stuff with him and like Katie Holmes when he would keep her locked up in the house with all that weird Scientology BS? It was just really creepy. I'm like, oh, this dude is
also the
nuts.
Oprah interview, the infamous Oprah interview.
Yeah, like even that wasn't as crazy as the whole like psychotic like Scientology stuff that just made him really weird. And I think he was one of the people that wanted to initially sue South Park for making fun of it.
Yes.
So because I know like Isaac Hayes quit.
It was like the come out of the closet thing. That was
and then the other part because he's like, I'm not gay, and you know what? This is my religion. It's not funny. So.
But Oprah's couch had it coming. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck your couch.
The other thing that about Tom Cruise was what was so funny was when they had John Travolta try to rescue him out of the closet.
Yes.
Whoa.
Or R. Kelly starts singing "Trapped in the Closet," and I just have died. So
that's one of the top like 10 episodes of all time of South Park.
So great.
But yeah, so let's. I wonder what's left for Maddie over here to tell us about what he remembers.
I'm like Copa and Rennie. I saw it in the movie theater opening weekend. I went with a bunch of friends, and I laughed hysterically. It was so good. Loved every minute of it, and I can't wait to discuss it. So. And I love Tom Cruise, and he's a nutter, but I love that about him. I'm like, what crazy thing are we in it today? It's so good.
When you say nutter, what exactly do you mean?
Well, he's got a screw loose, I mean, like
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
he's the good kind of crazy.
We're not making any accusations of homosexuality.
Unless he's fantastic. I love his craziness. But he's great.
He does not do any kind of crazy stunts in this movie, though, unfortunately. They didn't have him do anything like that.
They had Ben Stiller do most of it.
But the prosthesis on him was great.
For sure.
Giant hands, the hair.
His dancing was very, fun.
We'll get to that, don't worry.
Dark Hour. Well, you know what? I'll do it on you. I'll reverse the role. Dark Hour, what was your first experience with Tropic Thunder?
Well, I think everybody has saw it in theaters here, except for possibly you, because you were pretty
Yeah.
young at the time. But I just remember that at the time, so that was really the like that plus Iron Man was the resurgence of Robert Downey Jr.'s career, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like anybody like who was watching it at the time was actually didn't even realize what they were watching. They were watching the next essentially like face of Hollywood for a while.
Yep.
Ironically enough, not playing him like playing someone that looked significantly different than himself. But I was actually legitimately shocked by how everybody came together so cohesively in the movie. Because they were several of them are really big personalities. Obviously, Tom Cruise is one. Ben Stiller has been around forever. He's been a director. He grew up in the industry. Robert Downey Jr. as well grew up in the industry. You know, even like Jack Black, he's close friends with Ben Stiller, but like he usually commands like all of the attention, and they do a really good job throughout the film of sharing that. Like everybody really gets their moments, even like the smaller characters. Like Danny McBride is fantastic in this. I actually think that this.
I love Danny McBride.
I would argue that this was really the movie that made Danny McBride who he is. Like, you know, this plus Eastbound and Down were like the things that made who he is. But even like, you know, Bill Hader playing a small part, like to perfection. Like everybody just doing so great, you know, like I can't remember the guy who plays the director's name all of a sudden, but he does fantastic. And he's only in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. So like Nick Nolte every time. It's like I can go on forever about how every single person is.
Yeah, Steve Coogan.
But we will go
Steve
on
Coogan,
forever.
that's it, yeah.
We'll probably go on for 4 or 5 hours, you know, just praising Tropic Thunder.
Right on.
Oop, that wasn't supposed to be the one that I highlighted. Let's unhighlight that one. And chat moved, everybody. Here we go. All the nutters, nutbags, and nutshells. Holly Weird demands a lack of sanity. Tom ain't so bad in comparison. And I will do my best to keep up with the chat, and we will get to the super chats like periodically.
We shall. Yeah, we will. We'll do it like throughout the stream. So like just before we go on, my first experience with Tropic Thunder. Well, I didn't watch it in theaters because that was 2008. So it's not because
we're
I was
actually
too
at
young.
the 15-year anniversary. I think it's like next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's why we're covering it. Dark Hour is good on these anniversary dates, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have this thing called Google. I use it.
And well,
no, tomorrow is the anniversary. So we're by the time the stream
we're
is
by
over,
like a day.
Yeah,
and that's it. So
sorry, go on.
Happy anniversary, Tropic Thunder. There you go.
Go on, Uninspired. Sorry for cutting you off on that one.
Yeah, no problems, man. And so me in 2008, I didn't even have a cinema where I lived. So it was built in 2009. So I didn't see it because I was too young. There you go.
He was too young and didn't even have a place to look at to go watch.
Basically. And well, so the thing is that I was looking for war movies basically when I first got my first computer connected to the internet and all of that. So I was just looking for lots of different war movies, and it was The Thin Red Line and then Tropic Thunder, basically both in like the same list. And I was like, okay, cool. So I had no idea what Tropic Thunder was at all. I had never seen the trailers, never done any research whatsoever, and it was like insane. It was a crazy experience to just have that the way it was. But so I mean, we'll go through it. But the first action scene, I really thought it was like a proper war movie, and then it just started getting funnier, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
that opening sequence is fantastic. The stories that they tell in the commentary, and if you get a chance to watch this with the commentary, anybody who's out there that hasn't, some of the things that the stories that they tell are so great. It's just the little things you find out about like what went wrong or how they had to change things around is like, because they were filming in a jungle, like for real. There were scenes that were on a show like a stage, but for the most part they were on location.
And you can tell just by the weather alone, honestly. You can tell by the shots and how it's filmed. But there's also some pretty fun CGI that we'll delve into that I think is really great, especially for the time. So
Iceman's
shall we
getting a lot of time here. He's having some good points and stuff.
Shout out to The Thin Red Line. Yes, 100%. It's actually my favorite war movie. I absolutely adore that film. And I watched it at the time where I was very, let's say, philosophical about life. And it was basically exactly what I needed at that time. So, yeah. And just before we start, we'll do a couple of super chats. So, we've got Waylon Bucephus for $1.99. Bucket of booty sweat or bucket of dice?
Listen, Terry. I think all three of the super chats are him.
Yeah.
So is it the energy drink booty sweat or actual booty sweat? And if the second one that I just said, if it's the latter, whose booty sweat?
I would
that's a
say
good point.
it's the drink due to him capitalizing the B on booty. I'm gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm. Right on. That's a good.
I'll go with the drink, to be honest.
Yes,
with
then
you.
I'm gonna go with the drink.
Yeah, I want to try both those the drink and the busted nut bar. I was like, I wonder what they taste like.
Dark Hour, here, this one's for you.
Jacking off or wait, gay bitches?
Gay
off. I mean,
And so-
one of those can be done by yourself. The other one requires people. So
And the last one is inward or outward. So there we go.
inward or outward on what though?
I don't know. You see, that's the true terror of the question.
I say it every time. I love Waylon Bucephus's super chats. Every
incredible.
show I watch, he's the best at them. I don't think anybody has perfected super chats quite like that guy. So thank you.
Thank you for the super chats, man. And yeah, I guess we're gonna start. So we've got the trailers at the beginning, and boom, booty sweat and bust.
I like that pussy, hell yeah.
Yeah.
which I love that it sets up for a story that you don't even realize is going to go that direction already.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good too, because it's like, well, compared to the other ones, this is the only proper ad, while the rest are trailers.
Right.
So it does like have its own thing, and it's good that they put it first, so you can just be like, oh, okay, it's a normal ad. Especially when, as we said before, they say that yeah, you can go buy it at the
Concession stand.
Yeah, at the concession stand, basically.
Available at the concession stands right now, which would have been fantastic if they would have if this movie would have been able to pull that off and like
That would have been
distribute
good.
them and you could go buy them. That would have been fantastic. Or at
That would
minimum,
be amazing.
or at minimum, they could have they could have done like an empty fake can that they gave out with people, you know.
For maybe like a rebrand, for example, you know, make a deal with like something like Red Bull for them to basically just rebrand as booty sweat for a while.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could. Anyone could afford to pay Red Bull that.
Yeah,
Red Bull has a lot of money.
He's
It would
living his
have to be
best-
like it would have to be like an up and coming energy drink.
He's living his best life as a closeted gay man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, spoilers.
That's not that part yet.
You just jumped like an hour and 40 into the movie.
Oh, did I kill
With,
it? Did I kill it for everybody in the chat?
Well, we've got some,
Everybody knows.
Some people who haven't seen it, maybe, I guess. Well, I mean, you're in for a treat if you haven't seen the movie and you're experiencing it with us. So let's see how it goes. So yeah, we've got the next one: Al Pacino's booty sweat energy drink and bust a nut energy bar. You know, that's how it is.
They are fantastic. Like I can almost like see that being a real product. Like
honestly, the bust a nut I could. The booty sweat a bit less.
No, I don't think. I think if you marketed it correct in like 2008, I think you could have got away with it. Now, not
2008, yeah.
Back then, like I was saying earlier, that was a time where like you could still get away with some stuff.
You could. So
I mean, you would have paid the price a little later, but
yeah, you would have paid it. They would have gotten canceled today. But I mean, if you're selling booty sweat, I probably think that your company would be liquidated by today. So. Yeah, and
people are not happy with your spoiler.
Sorry, another spoiler alert. We lose in Vietnam. by the way.
And look, there we have, Copa is on screen right now with one of his babies. Boom.
Those are real babies, by the way. They actually, or at least it was this one baby that they used for real. I think they digitally duplicated it, but he says in the commentary.
Look CGI.
Yeah. Apparently, he did have like a real baby strapped to his chest for at least one of the parts.
My baby is indeed CGI. So
Ooh.
He's got one up on me.
The American Sniper baby. I don't know if you know that joke.
Oh yeah, with the doll.
My favorite thing about the Scorcher movie is first of all the way that the trailer goes, and it's like, well, nobody expected this to happen 3 more times,
right?
Yeah,
But then
or 3 more times after that, or whatever.
Yeah. But the way he says it in the trailer, he's like, "Here we go again."
Again.
Oh man. It's and plus it's like, oh, but this time it's different. Boom, ice. It's like, okay. Right. I bet you Roland Emmerich directed this.
Which is that even scientifically? Like, I don't know that much about it, but if the planet stopped spinning, wouldn't it freeze before it started to turn into a lava pit?
I think one side. I think it would be kind of like one side would be really hot, and the other side would be really cold.
Yeah. So already this movie isn't tracking. This
but I'd still see it. I mean, are we going to lie and say we wouldn't see this movie?
I would know. I would totally see it. Totally.
Mahler would be ripping it apart, though. He'd be like, the science just doesn't bear out. It doesn't make sense. This doesn't.
Yeah.
Who left the fridge open?
I love how it's called global meltdown, though. It actually should be like the opposite.
Right.
It should be like global cool down. Like
Ice Age was taken. Ice Age was taken.
I love the fact that his name is Tug Speedman too. It's
right?
Yes.
So good.
It's Scorcher 6, by the way. That's 6. That's not 4.
Oh my god.
I thought it was 7.
No, that's 6.
For some reason.
My Roman numerals. Oh god, I have to go back to school.
Y'all are just hoping for a 7, just like I am.
Yeah.
You don't need to go back to school. Nobody understands Roman numerals.
I mean, I can read Roman numerals, but for some reason, I haven't seen this movie in a few months. But I remembered it being number 7, so I'm an idiot.
It's true. I actually did remember it being number 7 too. Weirdly enough.
I think later in the movie they're negotiating for number 7.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sticking in my brain.
Then we've got the fatties.
Fatties, part 2.
Yeah, I love that they're called the fatties. Like, I'm all like, that's so good. That's so good.
I wonder why.
This day would just be called the Lizzos, you know.
Oh my god. They'd have to have a table full of bananas, though.
So the funny part is Jack Black actually made a background character, like a story for each one of these people, despite the fact they're only on screen for like 30 seconds. Every one of them has like a backstory that he made up.
Well, it kind of reminds me of Eddie Murphy era, you know, where Eddie Murphy would always make movies dressed up as so many different people.
Well, yeah, this is 100%
like the
based
clumps.
on. This is 100% based on the Nutty Professor stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fatties, the fart 2. It's like, what the fuck?
The fart 2.
And then we got Kirk Lazarus.
I love this trailer for so many reasons. It's just first of all,
oh my god, it's lovely.
Right there, we have the original Spider-Man and Iron Man together for the first time on screen, and the only time on screen,
right?
To my knowledge. Tobey Maguire was actually a last-minute replacement.
Who was it supposed to be?
I'm not sure, but they actually didn't. Whoever it was, like, backed out.
Oh.
And he just they just called in a favor from Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, they said he had 2 hours.
Yeah. He basically had to like prep and get everything ready, and he came over and they just did it, and that's why they were able. It made it even better because they were able to do the whole 5-time Academy Award winner and best kiss the comparison.
That's really cool. Now I really want to know who was supposed to be.
I might be able to look that up at some point.
I mean, I think that maybe the person backed out not because of scheduling conflicts, but because of the way that it would make them look. Probably they were like, no. But then Toby was coming off Spider-Man 3. I mean, he was untouchable at this point.
No, he was very touchable after Spider-Man 3. Nobody really wanted to deal with that.
Right.
I think he did this. I think he did this as a way to like make up for everybody being upset by Spider-Man 3 Here it is.
I love
This is
how yeah,
best kiss teen choice award winner.
Tobey Maguire. And like the funny thing is they say that it's winner of the Beijing Film Festival's coveted Crying Monkey Award.
It says I think they say some Beijing Film Festival. Like, they don't even know which one it is.
And it's like the cool part about these different trailers, you know, like for example, this one is called Satan's Alley. It's because if you pay attention to the studios that are releasing them, it's 100% in line with what each studio would release. So you've got Scorcher 4, which is being released by Universal.
Yes.
You've got the Fatties 2. That's New Line Cinema, because New Line, I think before they used to do a lot of, you know, spoof movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, New Line was always kind of like, if I recall correctly, New Line's owned by like a larger. It's like the movies that they like dump onto their smaller production company. I forget who it is.
All I know is New Line is the house that Freddy built, because you know Freddy Krueger is basically what built New Line Cinema from the ground up. Then A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is incredible.
Let's see.
Go watch A Nightmare on Elm Street if you haven't. Don't watch the remake; it's trash.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. New Line is a Warner Brothers subsidiary. It's kind of like where they dump things that they're not 100% certain whether it's gonna work or not.
And then this one is Fox Searchlight, which does a lot of indie stuff. You know, for example, I think Driving Miss Daisy is a Fox Searchlight. Driving Miss Daisy. Sorry.
They mentioned Driving Miss Daisy later.
Yeah, they do. Little Miss Sunshine, you know, stuff like indie movies. That's why I like when they say that it's the winner of like a Beijing Film Festival thing, because you know a lot of these indie movies, especially the ones that have subject matter like Satan's Alley, it's weird because you never really know which type of awards they're getting, but they just have so many different awards on their posters, and you're like, what fucking film festival is this from? You know, so I like how it pokes fun at all of that.
One thing, so this was not too long, because like 2008 was only a few years removed from Brokeback Mountain, so like it was maybe like 4 or 5 years after that. So like it was still like in the zeitgeist of the time. People were still talking about like, oh, you know, to have this movie that dealt with such a weird, like a random thing, and just being like, and now it's gay, and it was like this was like so ahead of its time for making every character, like just taking a thing and being like, oh, now the characters are gay. Like it's true. And they do it well. They do it properly.
They do well.
So so just before we continue, we'll do a super chat from Princess Pansonorov for $2. Give a shout out to my lawyer Bob Lobla.
Blah 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 blah
Blah blah blah. Have you guys seen Arrested Development?
Oh, look,
It's from
yeah,
that.
there.
Yeah, it's from that.
Arrested Development first few seasons are good. Once they rebooted it, killed the show, man. I stand by that.
I've never seen it.
It's great. You should. It's with Jason Bateman. It's incredible. So
in the winter of 1969, an elite force of U.S. Army were sent to a top secret assignment in the Southeast Vietnam. Do you have the whole thing?
Of course I do.
Okay. The objective: rescue Sergeant Four-Leaf Tayback from a heavily guarded NVA prison camp. This mission was considered near suicide.
Can I say something real quick? When I just recently rewatched this for this stream and everything, I honestly thought it was Teabag, and then I rewatched it, and I was all like, "Oh, it's Teabag." I thought it was Four-Leaf Teabag, and I was like, "That's funny." And then I was rewatching it, and I was just like, "Oh, never mind." Now I'm bummed. So.
Of the 10 men sent, 4 returned. Of those 4, 3 wrote books about what happened. Of those 3, 2 were published. Of those 2, just 1 got a movie deal. This is the story of the men who attempted to make that movie.
It's such a great, and plus it's Nick Nolte that's narrating.
Yeah, Nick Nolte Nick Nolte is kind of like the anchor point for this movie at certain point, because he's just like he's playing a character that he doesn't even believe the whole time.
Yeah. It's so great. And then we finally get the start of the movie with these incredible aerial shots that I just adore.
It was really good. Yeah.
And then with the title card.
Yeah,
Go
we were
ahead,
like,
Howard.
oh, I was just gonna say that they wanted more helicopters for this, but they only had 3 available. They wanted.
Oh,
to do
I
like,
can imagine.
Yeah.
And plus the soundtrack, you've got Ball of Confusion by The Temptations.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
You can't get any better than that. And yeah, it's like, I mean, for a comedy movie that's, you know, trying to do this specific premise, it's something that you actually need a big budget behind to make it look realistic. Because would you imagine Tropic Thunder working the same way it does now if it was really low budget and you could tell?
No.
It would never work. And so
Well,
yeah.
It probably would have been way lower budget had it been made when Stiller was originally trying to get it out. He had been writing this script for like 10 years.
Oh yeah, for a long while. But I mean, when did Stiller become famous?
I mean, years prior to this. He was kind of born famous though. His father and like was a big name. So like he was already in the industry when he was like a kid.
Yeah, he also had the Ben Stiller show, and he was making a lot of cameos in what was it, Happy Gilmore? He was a cameo in that as well.
Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
How about you have a nice cup of Shut the Hell Up? You're in my world now, Grandma. But yeah, and then he directed Cable Guy in what was that? 96 is when it came out.
Yeah, and he also directed Zoolander, so he was already like kind of like a seasoned director at this point too.
Yeah,
but I don't think
obviously
he had gotten anything of this scale.
Yeah, not really. I mean, this was definitely the him having to deal with a lot of personalities, but it worked that he was friends with most of them. So
yeah, for sure. You can just tell that the charisma and the on screen everything is just is great. And so yeah, I wanted to play a little clip of a shot that I really like because I just like how in this entire sequence you constantly have the helicopters flying like 2 meters above ground. You never really see them in the air. It's as if they're using them for every single shot. So I mean, look at this, man. It's such a great tracking shot. And
it's very Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, it is.
That's what they were trying to like really get the Apocalypse Now feel for it. That's what they said.
It's actually funny because one of the in the director's commentary they say that one of the cameramen for the helicopters was actually a camera assistant on Apocalypse Now. So like,
well,
most of
a lot of the people who play crew members were actual crew members that they had on the show, like on the set. So it wasn't like they were hiring people to play crew members. They just were pulling double details.
And that's like the beauty of making a movie about making a movie. It's just like you don't need to hire that many people. And so now we've got the first appearance of, RDJ.
Lincoln Osiris. Greatest character ever. Like, seriously.
For sure. Like for me, it's between him and Danny McBride's character. That's like the.
It's weird because I could argue at any point in this movie that like anybody is the best character because they're all great.
Yeah.
Then
except for him.
Yeah,
he sucks.
He does.
You don't like Jack Black in the movie?
No, I do. I do. I'm just joking. But he's definitely. I think he's the weakest out of all the characters. I feel.
I don't know.
You don't think Jay Baruchel's like the weakest?
No, because
he sucks. God, he sucks.
I think they purposely made Jack Black's character the crappiest one, just so he could go, nobody respects me because of my farts or whatever.
Yeah, hilarious. But yeah, I think honestly he actually had the hardest job out of all of them because he had to do a lot of like physical acting that the others didn't have to do.
And his face was red the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, he had to do to go through these like withdrawal symptoms and like physically falling off of stuff that no one else was doing. Like he basically when he jumps off of the plane and he's like it's too high and he falls face. That's just him doing that. So
dude, when he swats down the bat and chews into it is hilarious.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
Wait, jelly beans! I need my jelly beans.
Then we've got our introduction to.
Oh, there it is.
To Lopez, and Lopez, he doesn't last too long. Sadly, he's
right.
I think that was like
Poor guy.
the guy who plays him is a like a stunt guy or something. Like that.
Probably. I mean, well, he gets a lot of blood that I won't show on YouTube, but there you go. You've got Jay Baruchel.
Don't worry, you already got demonetized. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
It happened in the first 5 minutes.
It did. So yeah,
I feel like I should apologize.
No, it's
Maybe later.
Like I said, he's like it's just for the ad dollars, and we're not going to keep this up for it to get ad dollars on this channel.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not. I'm keeping this up for like a few days, but yeah, and then this is when Jay Baruchel gets wrecked basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's so
And I
bad.
love. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just gonna say like it's so bad. It's good.
Yeah, and I love how he's like, I think I can put it back in, and I'm all like, that's not how that works. Like,
Yeah,
So
like-
originally they used real like pig guts, but it looked too realistic, so they went with like fake like silicone ones to make it a little
Gotcha.
more palatable for people.
Oh, I thought they just like cut up a ham and then just threw some fake blood on it, and was just like, just move it around a little bit.
I mean, did you see that?
What
amount
is
of
this?
blood
What
that
am
was
I
just,
even
like-
looking at?
Right?
Everything was just spraying around so much, and it's like, oh man. But then after that, you've got this beautiful shot where they're taking them back to the helicopter, which is so good.
It is good.
You just have the choppers at the back, always like two meters from the ground. I think that they just constantly wanted to have them in every single shot, just to give you that factor.
Well, it's also a lot of times when you are dealing with helicopters, you don't want them to touch down fully because it's actually harder to get them to take back off if they're fully on the ground. So like if you're gonna have the helicopter take off in like in just a few seconds, you kind of just hover it about like a foot or two above the ground.
True. After that, we've got the reaction to Tug Speedman coming through, and so I'll play that clip. So beware your ears in case the audio is a bit too loud.
Just get shot like 75 times.
Yeah.
He keeps getting up and running.
And he's able to give a speech later. Like he's just like
The famous platoon pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the fake 50 Cent, surviving all those bullet shots, man.
Yeah.
50 Cent wishes he could survive that many bullet shots. He legitimately got shot like at least 30 times in this scene.
Oh, for sure. And then after that, you've got again just another shot with the helicopter right there, and then you've got Kirk Lazarus coming through.
And these were all improvised stunts. Here's the thing about Robert Downey Jr. in this movie: a lot of his stuff was just improvised. Him, Jack Black, a lot of the script was just kind of like make shit up at this point and just have fun with it. And
I was going to say the best line in this moment is "survive."
So, right.
what is it? Cover me, you. What is it? It's like cover me, you.
Cover me, you limp dick fuck ups.
Oh my god.
At least for me, it's just really like the part where he's like, survive. It's just like, and plus you see like the tears dropping down. You're like, oh,
he's getting like multiple gunshot wounds, and he's just sitting there going, survive,
man.
This is a case of like another clip where RDJ basically doing his own stunts, because he's the man.
Yeah, I love when he does the behind the back shot, and I'm all like, what's going on here?
That was a move very much in tune with what was going on in Vietnam. People just shooting behind their back with their 45. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody was just going, just doing no look shots.
That was Vietnam training.
It's like, the trees were talking, man.
I mean, it does actually play into one of the running gags that none of them actually attended the boot camp that was made for them.
No, right on.
Like,
yeah.
true. The only one that did was what's his face, the one I was
Jay Baruchel.
Jay
Baruchel.
Baruchel.
Yeah, he's the only character who actually attended the boot camp
and read the book
and read the script.
script.
And, like the rest of them are just
Yes.
making
I don't read the script. The script reads me.
Oh man,
Spit it out, man. What's with
And I love this
the script
too.
book shit. Spit it out, man.
Oh yeah. No.
Right? After being shot 1,000,000 times.
it's like he just popped out of nowhere. And that's when we have it's like, oh, I can't feel my legs. Like, ain't nothing but a thing. It's like,
Right.
Then this is when you first realize that they're on the set of a movie. You see Steve Coogan.
I'm really into the
director.
angle that the chick on the far right's giving us. That's a
Yeah,
yes.
hello.
Her face is
Thelma,
isn't much to
Louise,
write home.
ladies.
Her face isn't much to write home about, but it's a good angle.
Right on.
Then we've got the Tropic Thunder set, the Quang Tri province in Vietnam. It's really good that they actually went out and filmed all of this. And even when I said in the director's commentary, they said that they really tried to make everything seem compact so that they could have this good shot of everyone there. And I just think that it's fantastic. I love when Hollywood makes movies about Hollywood, except when it's very preachy and all of that's like that sucks. But I like Singing in the Rain. Musicals are my favorite, and Singing in the Rain is a movie about making movies. So yeah. Then after this we get my my favorite character's introduction. So I'll go ahead and play that because
I like that you actually put in the little clips too. This is working out.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I've been prepping this thing since I think it's like 6 a.m. bro. So, all right, so I'll play it was. I was watching EFAP.
Yeah, we're actually
yesterday.
not going up against EFAP today, so we may steal like one person from
Yes.
EFAP.
All right, so here's Danny McBride's introduction.
Hey, what's the deal, dude? Are we gonna blow this tree line or what? Tuck and Kim got the blue balls here. I'm gonna let them score before it go. I need some dudes up here who speak American, goddammit. Making a fucking sweater back here. I'm trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nut.
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this American nuts.
Damn it. It's so fucking good for an introduction. I mean, it's like, come on, it tells you exactly what you need to know about this character.
To this day, I still don't understand the frog thing.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
to keep them focused. It's like a fun Friday thing, something like that. And he's like, on Fridays we do this frog or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just to keep him focused on the mic, I think, and not so serious.
That's like, yeah, it gets him distracted, basically. And then that's when, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s face here is just perfect. The way he just lets go of the arms, he's like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
So I was listening to the commentary, and apparently originally they had a like more stubby, realistic looking arms, but they thought they wanted it to be like ridiculous, so they made these like starfish looking things.
Oh.
And he's, at that point he has his arms tied behind his back, so like he's just kind of like he's at the mercy of whatever Robert Downey Jr. does. So
and it's like it's a good scene. Like for me, it's correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like a parody of Forrest Gump, with the jumbo shrimp guy.
It's a little bit of that. It's just there's a lot of these sequences in war movies, but it's pretty close to like Bubba Gump Shrimp, if you want to say that.
Bubba. Yeah, that was it. I was like, in my mind, he's always the jumbo shrimp guy. That's it. That's what I call him. Then after this, we've got Nick Nolte that we see for the first time. Because they ask him, he's like, "Oh, did you cry when you lost your arms?" He just shakes his head. No, like, man, it's so good that they cast Nick Nolte in this. It's basically perfect, to be honest.
Yeah,
with his pirate claw right there, just like
It's a testament to how well Ben Stiller is how good of a director Ben Stiller is, because 75% of directing is casting the right actors to play your characters, and from the top down, from Four Leaf Tayback to Kurt Lazarus, all the way down to like the production assistant played by, I can't remember who it was, one of the SNL guys,
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah. I always get him confused with another one, but perfect casting straight down the line. I can't think of better actors to play these parts.
Then after
everybody was cast perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like for sure. I think it's just so good to, especially with the budget that the movie had and the way that the production would go. There was so many chances that this could be an absolute flop, like an absolute horrible movie. It's like, Simple Jack was casted perfectly. Ben Stiller is
make me happy.
make me happy. It's like, so then after this we've got I guess it's The Signal, basically.
Yeah, The Signal.
Yeah.
He thinks that like
he's like, oh, that's the signal. I gotta light him up.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go. Let's go freaking get here. That's my shit.
Yep.
That was a
Mother Nature
great
just
job.
pissed the pants, dude.
Mother Nature just. His lines are
Thunder
so
did it better
great.
than Christopher Nolan, man. They did it better than Oppenheimer. Just saying.
Yeah.
They did. But it was a good shot. They
Would
just
you
didn't
guys
record it.
believe me if I told you that this screen grab that you're looking at right now is CGI?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Behind
It
the
is.
behind
Wow,
the
it's pretty
helicopter,
good.
yeah.
Nope, not behind the helicopter. Basically, everyone except for the
Oh,
background.
Steve Coogan?
Yes, except for Cockburn.
Cockburn.
I can see
yeah.
that now. Yeah.
And so, actually, on set when this explosion happened, Danny McBride was the only person there.
You know what?
So-
I have heard about that because it was so hot they had to be like basically a mile away. It
Yep.
was.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
they couldn't be that close, so that's why they had to composite everyone in. And I was really shocked when I was watching the commentary and they said that this was like a composite shot. I was like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Good. It is.
Rennie L in the chat apparently is not a fan of Barry. I don't think that's going to go over well with
Agreed.
the.
One of the worst shows I've ever
my
seen in
God.
my life is Barry.
I don't think
couldn't
that's
get
going to go over
through
well with
5 episodes of
Mr.
that
Brown.
show.
I don't care.
Here's my favorite person that does random shit before movies and theaters all the time. By
Oh,
that, I
Maria
mean the only
Menounos.
person who does that.
I love Maria Menounos. She has like the best laugh. It's like the best.
She hasn't
Yeah.
aged like a day either.
The
Yeah.
best laugh. That's what I was looking at too.
You know, Maria Menounos has some nice Menounos. That's what I'd
Yeah,
say.
for sure.
And
Cosmic
then
isn't really CGI. I guess technically it's not CGI.
well, I mean, technically, it is like a bit of computer effects. I might be mistaken. But yeah, just before moving on, we'll do a super chat by Wayland Pacephis for $1.99. Suck my unit or never go full retail.
Both are great lines.
Yeah, it's really good.
They are. And then
This is-
we've got Les.
This is like the best character in the movie, in my opinion.
I agree. He is the best character.
I like how
I mean,
Les is a Jew and he's getting blessed by the Pope.
Yeah. That I never even put that together.
I mean, it's so good that you can have someone like Tom Cruise come and do that role, and even all the dancing and stuff like that. They said that it was Tom Cruise that basically did that during makeup, and so they found a way to write it into the movie just because he wanted to do it. So it's like,
That's good.
if it wasn't for Tom Cruise, we wouldn't have Les
That was-
Grossman.
That was about Maria Menounos, by the way.
She does.
Yeah, she's her. Tyra Banks randomly makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Like a
she
lot of
does.
like basically people that just what is it? Like Ben Stiller just called in favors for essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did, and I mean, it just proves that how much star power the guy has, especially for the time they were big people. Maybe not, maybe a bit less today, but for the time they were.
Well,
pretty
Jack
big
Black
faces.
was at the time super popular because he is coming off Kung Fu Panda.
Yep.
He had done like Shallow Hal. He was one of the biggest comedy stars on the planet at that point. And Robert Downey Jr., like I said, was re-emerging once again as a big star. He would go on to be by far the most successful out of these guys.
I mean, he's probably like the richest actor on the planet, maybe.
Well, he doesn't own. He's not one of the ones that owns his own production company. So,
Well, I mean, he doesn't own his own
just a
production
pure
company.
actor, probably because of the contracts he had for the MCU.
I mean, like every movie that he does, his wife produces and he produces, so it's basically income for both of them. So it's
Oh, he does have his own production company. I didn't.
If I remember correctly, this came out the same year as Iron Man.
It did.
So
It came
Yeah,
out only.
2008.
It came out only like 4 months after.
yeah. And this is kind of the start of his comeback. Like A Scanner Darkly was around the beginning of it, and then Zodiac, if I remember correctly, and then what just shot him out of the stratosphere was Iron Man, and then coming off that to release this as well. This really
That's
sealed
great.
the deal.
That was about Tom Cruise. He did say he wanted big hands.
Yep, I want big hands and I want to dance. So like, yeah, we've got the news montage basically of all the actors. So we've got Jeff Portnoy being, Jeff Portnoy basically. I don't even know how to say that.
Jeff Portnoy and Jeff Portnoy.
Yep. And we've got Kirk Lazarus being Kirk Lazarus. I don't even know how to qualify these people. You can just qualify them by using their actual names. Everybody knows what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually took the screen grab because I found it interesting. So we've got Chitlin and the Dude. And the reason I found this interesting is because just a couple of years after Tropic Thunder, Martin Lawrence actually made Big Mama's House 3 with Brandon T. Jackson, who plays Al Pacino. So yeah, I thought that was fun. And
I'd rather watch Chitlin and the Dude.
I would watch Chitlin and the Dude.
I almost feel like they had, if they wanted to, they could have easily made a Tropic Thunder universe.
For sure.
With all these movies, and it kind of like they did with Grindhouse.
Exactly.
That'd have been great.
I would have loved them to have done that, but animated. Have everyone with the voice acting, have it animated. It would have been really cool. But
which one was Chitlin?
I'm assuming the one that's not dressed like a woman is the dude. gonna go with that.
Tug Speedman's Chitlin.
Then we've got
there he
Simple
is.
Jack. There he is. So you know what? Let's hear it.
You make me happy.
And I love that it's his wife.
Yeah.
Who appears in every one of his movies, but usually not in such a small role.
Okay, so Rini, you're not a big Tom Cruise fan. I'm not a big Matthew McConaughey fan.
What about those feet?
First of all, it's Rennie, but yes, I do get what you're talking about. I'm not a big Matthew McConaughey fan anymore. He's turned out to seem a little bit creepy to me in the last few movies he's done.
Hold time out. One of his earliest movies is him saying how high school girls stay the same age and he keeps getting older. And this is when he starts getting creepy to you?
Well,
yes.
Dazed and Confused I watched when I was in high school, so I liked older guys at that point in time.
You were in the target demographic, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't in the more mature phase where I realized that's actually disgusting, but yeah, no, like I had a bunch of friends that wanted to watch Magic Mike, and ever since I've seen that movie, I just really get creeped out when I see his face. I think was his name in it Dallas?
Really? Dallas Buyers Club.
Well, no, his name is like Dallas in the movie. I think.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Magic
the movie.
Mike?
Yeah.
Magic Mike, yeah.
I just love that line.
Look at those feet.
I just love the line.
I don't want to.
In Magic Mike, where he's like, I see a lot of lawbreakers out there.
Oh my gosh!
But he crushes it in this role as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
I love that he's like bragging up the back cover. I was like, is that what they call it? The back cover with the
Well, the
panda?
back cover is, I mean, it's not as important as the front cover, but you know, it's still a cover. It's still something that when you get the magazine, like most likely, if I have like this here, like, you know, like you're going to be like, oh, okay, you know, you're going to do like one of those and you're going to look at both sides real quick. So.
I mean, so this scene sets up a lot. It sets up so the panda. It sets up the satellite phone that's given in the gift basket, and it also sets up you know, the TiVo stuff, which
the TiVo.
Oh my gosh!
I
can't believe they made such a huge deal out of TiVo. The whole freaking movie.
Is TiVo even around anymore? I don't even.
I don't
you
think
can
so.
still get them,
think so.
but I don't think it's like a. I don't think it's like a.
So for a non-American, what the fuck is a TiVo?
It's
TiVo
just
was like
the
the first
record-
digital recorder.
Yeah.
Digital
Yeah.
recorder for cable.
That's
Yes.
I love.
Yeah.
I typed in
That's it.
TiVo, and the first thing that comes up is TiVo Tropic Thunder.
That's good.
They still make them. They still make them.
Gotcha.
And also, I forgot to say that during the news broadcaster set, we also set up the, you know, the fact that Ben Stiller's character doesn't really have anyone that's close to him, which is going to have the emotional payoff basically at the end, though. We'll see.
Oh yeah, he says someone said
Yeah,
they were close
someone
to
said
me.
they're close to me. It's like, oh, wow, yeah. And so this is his adoptive kid.
So two things though. So that I also another thing I missed is Maria Menounos has a great line in there that is very underrated. It's they're 1 month behind schedule, 5 days into filming.
Right.
It's such like good stuff like this, and I mean, well, okay, so we already know the simple Jack stuff, but sorry, Rennie, I'm gonna have to play, just to prove that Matthew McConaughey can make basically anything sound sexy.
Say it for me one time. You make me happy.
I love in that scene too when he
Yeah.
like pulls out like you think it's a book of headshots for like actors.
Yeah.
It's a book of boob shots. He's just flipping
Yes,
through.
and he just shuts it like whenever the secretary comes in or whatever.
No. He doesn't even care that secretary. He shuts it because he gets offended about the TiVo not being in the.
Oh,
package.
that's right.
But it's like you think it's going to be a bunch of headshots for like people that he's trying to like get jobs for, and it's not. It's like,
I fought for that TiVo in your contract, man. It's like he's like the best agent you could ever ask for, to be honest. He does.
I mean, he's super
everything.
loyal, except for he does kind of contemplate following Les Grossman's idea later.
but he doesn't follow through with it. So that's
Yes,
he
but
does.
he almost does.
I mean, he also knows how to dispose of hookers. So I mean,
Right. A lot of lime. A lot of lime.
Yeah, first of all, you need.
so yeah, this is what I think basically is going on at Disney right now. So this is Kathleen Kennedy and how the budget is spent at Star Wars, and how the
Yes,
Kevin
right.
Feige spent for Marvel too. Because there's no way something like Secret Invasion cost 212
Right.
million, and they're not making big parties like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Danny
but who
McBride
wants to
just set shit
see-
on fire for no reason.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Who wants to
You
see
were saying?
KK naked anyways by the poolside?
God.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Movie cynic. He wants to see your neck.
that's right.
For sure.
I would like to point out while I was listening to the audio commentary, something about Ben Stiller's voice and sounded like Cynic's voice, and it was very like jarring. Every time I heard, like, there were certain points where he was talking, I was like, "Is Cynic like part of this commentary? What's going on?" I'll have to show it to you guys later.
I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
I feel like Cynic narrates Fight Club. That's
Just
what it sounds
constantly
like
in his
to
own
me.
head.
Yeah.
It's
I am
true,
Jackson
like-
Flamed Colon.
and, ooh,
My agent got
yes.
me this gig, Wednesday's appearance on Mr. Brown's stream. Apparently, they're good exposure. You got to expose yourself in Mr. Brown's stream. It's mandatory.
You do.
I mean, if you don't, Brown will.
Yeah, but-
Then so this is our first basically well like seeing Les Grossman basically for one of the first times, and the impression that he
a lot of
leaves
people
is great.
say
Oh, I
that
loved
they
it.
can't tell that it's Tom Cruise. I see it right away.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I could tell it was Tom Cruise right away.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
can-
didn't know
you can
until
hear
the
it.
end of the movie. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. How did I not realize that was Tom Cruise?
Because he has such big hands in this movie.
I know they're massive,
Threw
man.
everybody
I mean,
off.
it's just Tom Cruise with the Copa haircut, man. You know that's how it is.
That's not
Probably owe
true.
some residuals for that haircut.
I have
Copa,
a. I have a.
you've
He
got
has
to
a way
trademark
better.
it.
He has a way better hairline than I do.
I mean, I think
Oh,
it's better
man.
to have like a bald head rather than the stuff on the side.
Yeah, I agree,
That-
yeah.
That's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
The
distracting.
horseshoe
It's like,
look.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you got
you can't
that,
go
what is
your
this,
hair is
a
like a horseshoe.
highway?
Yeah, I think that's just like refusing to give up kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
after a certain
It's like,
point,
don't
it's
hold
like-
on to scraps. Just shave the rest off,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Come on.
So yeah, so basically this is our first impression of Les.
This is your fault. You limey
Oh,
fuck!
I loved it.
Shit the money bed, my friend.
You skipped my favorite part. Who's the key grip?
Who's
the key grip? Oh.
Punch that director in the face really
Yes.
fucking hard. I love how he specifically asks for the key grip too.
Right.
Yes. It's like he knows it's going to be a big, strong guy or something, you know?
Right.
I mean,
They
it's
usually are.
good too
Those are
because-
those are the blue collar guys on set. Is the key grips and stuff like that. So he's
Being a
definitely
guy in the
asking for the
production
blue
industry.
collar guy who will have no problems punching a director in the face. Because
Ironically enough, the guy that was that person is apparently like very anti-violence. He just happens to be like the biggest guy on the crew.
Right
So
on.
it's-
That's funny.
Oh,
I mean, it shows you a bit about Les Grossman's character also, that he actually knows the industry and he knows like the roles of everyone. So it's good, you know. It's a joke, but it also adds something to his character. It makes him more credible.
Yeah. Can I say
Yeah.
something about this
Yeah.
part right here?
Yeah,
So when
Same
I was
here.
watching this today, so I was watching it and I was like, we should have known this guy had hands because he doesn't know how to. He's trying to peel this apple, and I'm like, that's not how those little hooks work. You can't just peel apples with them with those little hooks. So I was like, we should have known right off the bat and everything. But I do love that he's in the corner looking all creepy.
See, I do.
Yeah.
I do love this scene for the way that like Les Grossman just like shits all over him after giving him a compliment.
Right.
It's amazing.
And it's like it's so funny because the way that they film it is like he's just in the shadows everywhere. And then they're like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. It's like it's him.
Yeah, he's sitting in front of a picture that has obviously been knocked off the wall, and no one's picked it up.
Oh,
So
right
it's
on.
got this.
Yeah.
It's got this like total. Once again, this apocalypse now type of vibe going on over here in the corner somewhere.
So apparently, originally the whole thing he was supposed to do was like drag his claw on like the wall or the window or something, kind of like Quint from Jaws originally. But they because they were trying to make that kind of reference, but they felt it was a little too on the nose, so they dropped it.
I mean, like this is pretty good. Plus, after that he gets calmed down by Les. Basically, he's just like, "Oh, thank you for your service. Now shut the fuck up."
Right.
I love that scene. I love it.
Man, Tom Cruise is like Tom Cruise. He probably had the most fun on set. He basically just even RDJ because he was basically just insulting people the entire movie.
Yeah, the RDJ was like his whole thing was just basically telling everybody they suck at acting like the whole time.
Right.
It's so good. And then after that, you've got the 1 week rap party. It's just like 1 week, man. Come on.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
actually
only-
a great point that Waylon Bacefus makes. I didn't notice this, but apparently those are, I guess, yeah. If you look, they're different like units from like those patches don't make sense, which is usually a thing that gives people with like stolen valor away because they don't know what like the specific like metals and stuff mean. So like if you start talking to them or the patches on the jacket, if you start talking to them, you can catch them in lies because unless they've done a shit ton of research, they're probably not going to know what the answers are if you know the real answers.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely a cavalry patch there on his left shoulder. I can't tell what the other patches are, but yeah, that's usually how stolen valor is
outed.
Is
Yeah,
they don't know what unit patches they're wearing. They're wearing
or
unit
the people who wear like the stripe. What is it? It's because it's you get medaled, but you don't wear it on your uniform all the time. It's the like stripes things. The bars. Oh yeah, the bars. A lot of times people will wear them either in the wrong order or they will be questioned about it, and they don't know what the one actually means. So
yeah.
Apparently he also
Waylon
has
says he's wearing an 82nd Airborne patch, but I don't see it.
We'll probably see it later when there's better lighting.
Because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
If he's wearing a Air Cavalry patch and an 82nd Airborne patch.
And it's like nobody on the crew, nobody in like the cast. They were
Nobody
just
there.
like,
No, they're idiot
shit.
Hollywood people. They have no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. You guys are saying it's cavalry patch. I wouldn't even know it's a cavalry patch. I'd be like, oh, look at that.
So here's actually the thing to me that's like the one thing that it kind of in a way draws me out of the narrative is that he got through releasing this book about all this information and like saying he was this person with like no one fact checked that ever. Like, I don't just mean the Hollywood people, like no one fact checked that in like the publishing company that he went through. Any of the people who read his book that made it super popular, no one questioned it, looked into his record and stuff. That's like the one thing about this movie of all the ridiculous shit they do where I'm like, that doesn't make much sense actually.
I mean, he probably had like the most entertaining one, which is why the publisher took it. So they were just like, "Fuck it." I mean, we never know if maybe it was put in like the fiction section, and it's just the incompetent filmmakers, So,
I like.
Look, this was 2008 America, not 2023 America. Okay,
that is true. Different time.
Then we've got the 1 week rap party basically.
I love that. They're like 1 week down, huge fucking
It's so crazy. It's like, come on, man! Look at the amount of stuff that they have here. They
Right.
had like bands. They have like the hotel. I mean, it must be incredibly costly,
Now,
anyways.
you have to remember they are supposed to be in Vietnam, so this is probably not as expensive as you'd think.
That's
for a
true.
lot of this
That's
stuff.
true.
It's like that scene in Euro Trip where they have like 35 cents and they stay at a 5-star hotel.
Then so yeah, I like this. So I like the rap party scene because you get to know a bit more people that aren't RDJ's character and Ben Stiller's character. So for example, you get to see Jay Baruchel's character, Al Pacino, and then Jeff Portnoy. So you spend a bit more time with them, especially in the element that isn't, them making the film. So that when they're tossed into that element, you can tell that there are differences. Somewhat. It's not properly done. I think that it could have used a bit more time, but I think that it still gets the message across.
I agree.
So you've got Jay Baruchel, then Jeff Portnoy.
I love how at this point he asks, like, "Hey, have you seen the?" I forget what specific person it
the
is.
guy.
Yeah, and then like the dude like comes over, just flips him off for no reason. Like he's trying to give you money for drugs, dude.
Yeah. And I like the fact that like Jay Baruchel's character is basically the only one that takes everything seriously, and the director acknowledges it. He's like, "Oh, you really take this seriously?" It's like, "Well, yeah, it's a big opportunity for me."
Right.
He
Yeah, I
had
can imagine.
what is it? I spent the last 2 years of my life living off residuals for an anti-herpes medication or something like that.
Hey, yeah. Then this is Al Pacino and his clique. They're just randomly dancing. I don't even fucking understand what was going
Let's
on.
do the
Well,
bunny
he was.
hop.
Oh no, he was saying how. I remember this scene actually.
Bunny
He
hop.
says something about this is the way I want to do the music video, and the director's like, I don't give a shit. Like that has nothing to do. I have nothing to do with that.
Do the seizure or something. Then they all just start vibrating. Just like, what the fuck?
It was good.
Then yeah, so then after that we've got the scene with so the director and Nick Nolte basically talking about, well, we have to take them out in the wild and make sure that everything happens well because they're a bunch of fucking prima donnas and we have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Which leads us to this awesome shot of them in the
You are
helicopter.
5 guys you are 5 men in a helicopter with 3 other men. Pretty much it.
And yeah, before we continue, we'll do some super chats. We've got Melvin Deeply for £5. As Mr. Brown says, that is real money, folks. So, need advice. My mother's dog's still alive, and I'm stuck looking after her till November. Suggestions? It needs to be quick and look like an accident. Well,
Oh my goodness.
well.
Chocolate covered grapes.
I mean, you know what? Just put her out in the street. Don't forget to use a lot of lime. Maybe
Yeah, a
it
lot
can
of
help
lime.
you. A lot of lime. Thank you, Melvin. And then we've got one from the movie cynic, the Blue Man himself, for $9.99. Uninspired. Are you offended as a black man by Downey Jr. or do you feel seen? No, I feel represented, man. He represented me so much. It's like, wow, he was talking about collard greens. Well, I am a black cat, so technically it counts, a
Oh,
bit.
there we go.
It counts. It counts. I mean, RDJ, like, he was fantastic. If the performance was shit, I would have probably been offended, but the performance was
that was
incredible.
one of the things. The guy who plays Al Pacino, I forget his real name, but one of the things that they used him for off scene was to like be like, hey, do you think this is going to track well? Like, do you think people are going to get offended by this? Do you think this will be funny? So he was kind of like their anchor point for like testing whether or not he was Robert Downey Jr. was going too far.
Yeah. I remember hearing that on the commentary is basically their offense gauge, so to speak.
Yeah,
I mean,
like he was like, and he was basically their filter. Like if he was like, no, I don't do that, they didn't do it. Like,
Yeah, his
But I
name is
mean-
Brandon T. Jackson, by the way.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon T.
Yeah.
Jackson, yeah. I mean, in the end, like, RDJ know who he is. He's just a dude playing
Playing a dude
disguised as another dude. Yes, sir. It's like, you know what, RDJ, you have my pass, man. Even for the N word, you can do it, man. You made Black Lives good.
You're handing out too many passes. You're like,
Yeah,
I know, I
me
was
and
gonna say.
RDJ.
He gave me one the other day
those
too.
out.
I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't
So
want
it's
it.
like-
I
it's
can't
like-
handle
so-
this responsibility.
I'm putting you guys on the same level as RDJ. You should be proud.
I am proud. Thank you. I might still drop it by the end of the stream.
And then, so yeah, thank you guys for the super chats, man. And so yeah, we have this shot where they're finally down, and Nick Nolte is just flying away, and that's it. We have to basically, this is basically full-on exposition.
It
So-
hurts me to see that Razor phone just get, because I always coveted that phone as a child. Like, as like a teenager. That was like my favorite phone when I was around that age, and I was like, I want that one, and to see it just destroyed right there.
Man, I had a Motorola when I was growing up. It was like every time you turned it on, it's like "Allo Moto" with the music.
The Razor is
was
a
a
Motorola.
Motorola.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They actually just recently like started doing flip phones again. So like I have one, so it's always fun to have
Flip
that
phones are the
ability.
best.
Yeah.
I just hate that Samsung is trying to do like normal smartphones as flip phones. It's like, who the fuck is gonna buy that, man? I can't.
I literally just
No.
showed you I have one.
You've got to use a normal flip phone, bro. A normal flip phone.
Yeah, I'm terrified of using a smart flip phone. I'm afraid that I'm going to
Same.
shatter the
I'm
glass
really
or
scared of
bend
using
it too
it.
far.
The odds of you shattering the glass are actually lower than if you have a non-flip phone because it's closed.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I don't know. It's weird.
Huh. All right. Well, so all of this is basically a bunch of exposition and setup for everything that comes later. So the only issue I had with this is do we ever, maybe it slipped out of my mind, but do we ever get the knowledge of when and how the director and the
Nick
special
Nolte.
effects guy and Nick Nolte basically just were able to set up cameras and
No,
explosives,
it's
basically?
just a thing that they kind of just swipe away. They don't really mention it ever.
Yeah,
it was
they
a
don't
one.
really
It was a 1 week rap party, and everybody was high. No one noticed.
Yeah, I think it's pseudo implied that because they were a month behind anyway. They just kind of like pushed it back and did this stuff because I don't think it was I don't think it was immediately after. I think there's a amount of time between that last scene where he's talking to Nick Nolte and when they're on the helicopter. So
yeah, probably a few days at least. I mean, you know, for the drugs to the effect to go out. So that's it. And then so we have the basically the scenes. Everything is there. Everything's being set up. So the camera. So everyone thinks that it's a movie basically. And you've got the director saying that this is the only way to contact the chopper. It's his phone. And I'll just play the clip because I really like it.
The chopper is God, and I am Jesus Christ, his son. Let's go and make the greatest war movie ever!
I love you cut it right
That's so
before,
awesome.
but there's like an 8-second pause, and then
There is. Look at all their reactions.
and then Jack Black just goes, "Yeah,
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
Ben,
you know,
what
well,
Ben
that's-
Stiller does after this is just amazing, but disgusting, but
Yes.
amazing.
Robert Downey Jr. is like, this motherfucker's dead.
Yeah.
This ain't some David Blaine mind freak shit.
Almost everybody's lines in this scene were ad-libbed. Like a lot of that, it was essentially just like nobody really knew what was going to happen. The adding of him like eating the blood and all that was added in like the final script rewrite. So this was a very, very natural scene.
Yeah, and I love the fact that like all the guts out of his head were like pouring out into his mouth, and he's
He's like,
corn
oh, it's
syrup,
corn
guys."
syrup. Yeah. And he's like blood tasting corn syrup.
Warm, blood-flavored corn syrup.
Yeah. So the reason I'm not showing it is because we're on YouTube. So
it's a little bit
My
graphic.
favorite part of that scene, though, is when he kicks his head and goes, "Look, I'm David Beckham."
Then you hear Brandon Jackson scream. It's like, it's so funny.
Look at me, I'm David Beckham.
Yeah. Well, this is basically the first payoff that happens is that you had the director telling them once they landed, especially to Jeff Portnoy, he was saying, yeah, don't scream because now you've given away your location. Yeah. It's like, boom, once the director is gone, he says, woo, yeah, boom, giving away the location.
Well,
like,
also they hear the explosion too. I mean, that doesn't exactly help.
Well, it's weird because the explosion isn't really like, for example, I watched the scene and I didn't really hear the explosion because for me it was really the woo that got them. So that's why I was like, I don't know, But yeah, they would have probably heard the explosion, and it's just the difference in lighting between here and here. It's just impeccable.
The explosion was probably them thinking like maybe an animal tripped their mind. But once you had Jack Black go, yeah, that's good. That's when they're like, oh, no,
I'm going to acknowledge this comment because this is one of the greatest things about this movie. Why are you still in character? I don't drop character in the DVD commentary. And he didn't.
Yes, sir.
He did not drop character until the DVD commentary. He is 100% in character the whole DVD commentary until the last 10 seconds.
Oh man, and it's like, this is great. So you have all of them basically just trying to piece together what the fuck just happened because you have Steve Coogan that blew up so well, and the explosion itself is great. It's really good. Even the seamless transition that they have from so I think that they exploded a doll or something like that, but you can't even tell. It's just like boom, it's gone.
So one thing about that was they were not really 100% certain whether or not they should even show the head because they were like, it's gonna they thought it might jack up the rating a little bit too much, because it was just that so that's one of the reasons why if you look closely you can it doesn't look exactly like Steve Coogan, a little bit off.
It looks a bit fake.
Yeah, but I'm glad they did. I love that part when he just picks it up and you're just like,
we got our war faces on.
Yeah, it tastes like blood flavored corn syrup.
There's then you got RDJ's like, he ain't playing God, he's being judged by him. It's like,
right?
Yeah,
he ain't playing God, he's being judged by him.
It's so good. Then
they have no fear of death.
Yeah.
After they see Ben Stiller basically just parading around the head.
The unsung hero of this movie is, I don't know this guy's name, but this second in command guy for the drug cartel is this. He is probably the unsung hero of this movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Then after that we've got them that are they're basically around to explode the charges that they've set up. So it's Nick Nolte and Danny McBride's character, and so they just think it's a movie, so they're like, fuck it, we're going. And then this is when RDJ says Copa's line that he was
saying, asshole, this motherfucker's dead.
Oh man, I actually just laughed pretty hard. I just popped a rib right on that one.
It's just the way he says it. Everyone's going so smoothly. You even have Brandon T. Jackson. He's basically making an ad for
he's like,
sweat.
Thank God I got this booty sweat.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think what is it? Jack Black is has the super Brooklyn accent. He's like, hey guys,
yeah.
I don't even know what he's saying, but
it's the parody of having, every time you see this war movie, for example, take Saving Private Ryan or something like that, each person has a different accent for some reason. And it's weird, but it's a trope that continuously works, and they just build on it and make it really, really fun.
All right, so we were just given a drinking game. Every time RDJ does something racially insensitive, take a shot. I don't want to be dead by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I will just take one now just because. All I have is a red Solo cup. So I'm going to do my best here to make a shot.
Trust me, Smilex, I'm taking a shot too.
Yeah, I would do that. I don't start drinking till after 3 o'clock, so...
It's 8:30 p.m. here, so it's cool for me. Then, just before we move on, we'll do a super
straight up
chat.
tequila.
Wait,
nice.
Robert Downey Jr. does something racially insensitive in this movie?
No, no, everything's on the up and up.
This one's actually kind of interesting since I'm talking about the things I had. This was a grapefruit infused tequila.
Ah, yes, grape infused.
Grapefruit infused.
Ooh, even better.
For Palomas, my favorite drink.
I'm a whiskey man.
I have bourbon over here.
Nice.
So
the uninspired reviewer, my brother in whiskey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like I'm a whiskey man. That's like the only alcohol that I basically drink, to be honest. That's it.
And we both come from cultures where we're supposed to be drinking wine.
It's true. It's true.
France and Italy.
It's true. Yep. It's true.
I mean, I'm German and like Austrian. I'm supposed to love beer, and I can't stand beer for shit. I think I've never found a beer that I was like, "Yep, I could drink plenty of this." Like,
it makes you fat after a while. It's not
try Bud Light.
Oh yeah. I really want to. I've actually probably been saving their company if I did that.
Probably.
So I've got a Gator159 for $5. Thank you for the super chat, mate. And pretty sure YouTube live streams has its own tab on your channel. Could you not private these, or at least unlist them, put them on a playlist? So actually, this one is gonna stay on my channel for about a few days, maybe like 2 or 3. And then after that, we have the Uninspired Hour or so re-upload channel where
I'll drop a link to that.
Yeah, where that'll just be for the re-uploads. So that like they don't stay on my channel, because YouTube doesn't really like when you have live streams on your channel, except if maybe you're a live stream only channel, that could help. But yeah, so that's why we created the second channel. So we'll drop the link in the chat for you, man.
But he's also on something, because if you unlist it and you put it in a playlist, it takes it off that live tab, but you still have it on your channel as well.
Yeah, but you have to like give out the link. So I may put it in my like channel description, maybe, if anyone wants to it. But I mean, that's what we created the second channel for. So I'll just re-upload over there.
Well, yeah, because since it's going to be 2 different channels that we're bouncing back and forth, we just felt it made more sense to have a channel that was for that. Also, I mean, just to give you guys a small update on a couple things with that, since we've gotten decently into this. One, we are still doing the giveaway, for the not quite so expensive comic that I'm giving away. There's a commercial for that on how you can do it on that channel. Number 2, we've also been in discussions of maybe not every week, every time we do this, it might not always be a movie. We might try to do some cool things, like have a debate over things, or just if there's some really big specifics from that week, like a really big drop, we might have a discussion about it. We're just gonna, like, it will always be the Uninspired Hour or so, but we might just mix it up a little bit what we're doing from time to time.
Yep, it's gonna be fun, man. At least we'll have great guests on all the time, so don't worry.
Yeah, trust me,
myself, we're incredible too. So
trust me, I'm working behind the scenes all the time for guests. Some bigger names, some like ones that are on our like pantheon level in terms of like subscribers. They're all great people, just like Copa and Matt Cat. I'm trying to get a good mixture of people that everyone knows. So
yeah, and then so back to
back to the movie.
And so this is the part where so they basically get shot at from the trees by the Viet Cong, I think.
Yes.
And so they just basically shoot back because they think it's a movie, but they're all shooting blanks, which I have a bit of a problem with. I don't know if like you guys too. So I understand that the movie is like it's comedic, but do you guys ever feel like the characters are in danger, or do you feel like it's adhering to that trope of basically every 80s action hero can dodge like 1,000 bullets? And
I think it plays into that more than it should, because there is times, like especially later in the movie, where I'm like, okay, you guys are aware your guns don't really have real bullets, right?
Yeah.
And like there's I mean, this is getting way ahead of ourselves, but there's the scene where they hold all of them up at the compound, and all the guys throw their guns to the ground, and like, why don't you pick up the real guns? Like,
right.
That was my thought too. I was like, I don't know, you could I mean, you're in real danger, and at this point that you're in real danger, so why wouldn't you fight back?
Are you asking actors to think for themselves without somebody telling them what to do? Weird.
But don't you feel like some actors feel like they're so untouchable or certain things would just never happen to them? And I think they have, or they convey that idea, at least with Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr.'s characters. They're just like, oh, that wouldn't happen to me, or I'm not really in danger, or I'm untouchable. And I think that that's conveyed pretty heavily as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that if they did start, like, let's say one of them takes a round in a hand or in their leg or something like that, and they realize that it's real, I think that takes a darker tone for the film in general. And so in order to keep it light where it's at, they kind of gotta act like, you know, they're impervious to real life ammunition.
I mean, they do at certain points like mention that it's real though. Like they reiterate multiple times.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if they take an injury, if they take a casualty, like, oh, they have to carry you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s character around or one of the other guys around because, you know, he took a round to the leg, it makes it a completely different movie all of a sudden tonally.
They work around that in a way later on when Jack Black's character's like holding his ass, like saying, "Oh, my ass!" Like they work around it and make it comedic, but he did actually take damage, like legitimate damage.
Yeah,
right. But that was closer towards the third act.
The wet offenses.
The world has already been built around that. They don't generally, they're not that much in danger, and it's lighthearted. Could you imagine if this took a darker tone, like right off the bat? Like that makes the whole scene where the director blows up that much darker all of a sudden.
I mean, it's pretty dark. I want to acknowledge to Gator 159, who is a member on my channel. We will be on my channel for the next one, and then I believe the one after that, because that's a very special episode, which I will be announcing more about in the near future.
Already, yeah,
we're coming up on that.
I guess it is. Yep, we are. All right. So, and Copa, since you said that you hadn't seen the director's cut, is there any scene that we've gone through that wasn't in the theatrical cut?
Yeah. So the 1 week rap party is definitely not in the theatrical cut for sure.
Oh.
Like I do not remember that whatsoever.
So like, they said that they took that out because specifically it slowed down the movie too much. They wanted to just get to the jungle stuff.
Oh, it completely makes sense.
Like I remember part of it being in the actual movie at the movie theater, but then whenever they released it as the theatrical cut, it wasn't part of the home movie version of it. Mm-hmm. So it was like a little bit at the theater, but not that in depth.
Okay, well, I think that the movie can still work without it. I just think that it benefits, you know, having to see the other characters that we don't spend that much time with. You know, just seeing them out of their, like, out of the, as I said before, you know, out of the filming element. Then then after this we've got Tug Speedman throwing a grenade when coincidentally at the same time.
This is my favorite line in the whole movie.
Oh my goodness.
Please tell me you have it.
No.
Damn it.
What? Rude.
Fine, I'll just do it. I'll just do it.
Do it.
Big ass titties.
Oh man.
I love the whole sequence too, because like at one point he's talking to Nick Nolte and he's like, "Yeah, I lost an appendage in the line of duty." He holds up his finger.
He just holds up his
finger. You can see it right there, and he's like, "Yeah, first day of driving, Miss Daisy." And it's like, what pyrotechnics were in driving Miss Daisy? Like,
after that, he says, "I almost blinded Jamie Lee Curtis in Freaky Friday." That's what he says like later in the movie.
I mean, they actually say that a couple of those things, like random drops, like earlier in the movie, they say something about a camera truck hitting Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I was like,
yes.
Oh man. Then it's like, boom, that's the trailer right there. It's like, yeah.
It would be too. Like if it was a real movie, it would have been the trailer. And here's our trailer.
Yeah, here's our thumbnail, basically. Yeah. RDJ is piercing my soul. I mean, just look at the difference, like in color grading, you know, between everything we've seen, from the green here, and then it just gets darker and darker.
It's partially because they had limited filming times, so they had to sometimes film a little later into the day.
Yeah, it's true, and they said that they had a lot of overcast when they were filming, but they said that it helped well. But honestly, if you look, at the movie as a whole, it's basically color graded various shades of blue and green, just
I was
with a
about to
little hint
say,
of
like,
red.
once they get into the jungle, it starts turning like a darker shade of blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it suits the tone too, because this is where it starts to get darker, especially since now we're taking the POV of RDJ's character, who still thinks that all of this is real, unlike the others. Which it works.
Well, no, he knows that what's really going on.
Yeah.
He just can't break character because it's
Yeah.
So let me just say, look at that. But he can't break character because it's his own character flaw that he can't overcome, no matter how hard he tries. In fact, in the original script, he was supposed to break character, and they decided against it.
I mean, it's great that they decide not to make him break character until the very end. It's like there's also these shots where you have the entire crew just posing, and it happens a lot throughout the movie. And I just feel like it's them, feeding into the trope of having, the Hollywood star, basically, that cliche of them always looking good no matter what.
Yeah, they're smizing.
Yeah.
They're just like looking like they're
It's
doing
like,
the Legolas pose where they're just like.
Look at
I
Ben
love
Stiller's
this. So Ben
arms.
Stiller does like a lot of like this shit where he's like,
Yeah, right.
but and like as he does it for a good like 15-20 seconds, and they just like are staring at him like, what the hell is that even supposed to mean?
Right.
And then he just goes like this, and then just walks forward.
I mean, it's crazy, and they all look buff for the role. I mean, Ben Stiller, Brandon T. Jackson look buff. Robert Downey Jr. You don't really see his arms because he's got the long sleeves.
Yeah.
Jack Black, he's
Jack Black is just a big guy, so
Yeah.
like, he just looks strong.
He's
by
always
him.
been pudgy.
Yeah,
Yep.
Always been.
he plays
pudgy.
into it though. So, but yeah,
He
like
does.
they like Stiller got into some serious shape for this role.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, look at those biceps, man. It's
Yeah.
like, damn. He's probably been watching Copa's channel. Copa says that in his description, it's like, as long as you watch him, your bench press is 400% more. So yeah. Then after that, we've got the scene where they're talking about Simple Jack and basically
I love this scene. I love it because he's like, filming Simple Jack, I really felt retarded. Like, I mean, he's like I brushed my teeth retarded. I rode the bus retarded.
I took a bath retarded.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
watched a lot. I think my favorite line about it is I watched a lot of retarded people, spent time, observed them.
Yeah, and he's because
all the retarded stuff they did.
Yeah, and he was like, I just freed myself up to believe that I was okay to be stupid, and I'm all like, I was like, okay.
Uninspired. If you check your email right now, you 100% have an email that says you just got.
oh yeah,
There's no way you didn't.
Sure. Let me check. No, we're still good, man. We're still good.
Apparently, the stream is getting attacked by bots.
Oh,
I already
don't
got
worry.
him.
Huh.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I
say
mean, they
something.
weren't exactly like. I mean, I'll even show it. I don't care. It's poop. Yeah,
Poop.
Okay. if that was an attempt at trolling, I think you don't know my sense of humor well enough.
Right.
Then so after this, what do we got? We've got the let me just get back to the so after this we basically
I think
have
Iceman will get eventually get a what is it, a moderator?
moderator.
He'll get a wrench for that,
Wrench.
for pointing that out. I'll wrench
Get a
some
wrench.
people. We're gonna wrench people eventually.
And then so we've got the scene, and then just after this we've got the sorry the Copa is in here to hear this, but I'll play it back when he's here.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Never go. Starting with a Walkman on is not actually a
So great. You were farting in the bathtub and laughing. And
in the bathroom, laughing your ass off.
yeah, I just can't. It's so funny.
Having listened, I mean, I can't tell on your guys' end how I'm doing with the voice, but in my head it sounds good.
It's perfect.
It's
Then,
fine. No, just kidding. It's fine.
And after that we've got so yeah, this is the scene when they finally come and discover the what's going on, what really happened to the director, and that he got blown up.
This scene is actually fantastic.
It is. Because I love when what's his face is all like, you blew him up, and he's like, I
Yeah,
didn't
Nick
blow him up.
So
You
Nick
blew him
Nolte
up
has
too.
a realization that shit's real all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like he like it to him, it's like up to this point he's been like playing a character, and like to him it's all just a joke that he's the only one that knows it's going on for the most part. But then he kind of like realizes at that moment, like, oh shit, I actually got someone killed, and then he like kind of has like a panic attack and walks away.
And it's also,
Well, I
you know,
think
the
it's
fact
funny.
that
They thought they killed him. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
inspired.
no, go ahead, Rennie.
It just cracked me up because they're like, "Oh my god, we killed him by doing like the explosives or whatever," and then it's like, "Oh wait, he stepped on an old landmine."
But they don't find that out for like another hour
Yeah.
into the movie.
Yeah, until the third act. So they're basically just, that's why they're fighting right now. And then he basically removes the hooks, and then it's like, oh man, it's like, you have hands. It's like,
And then
yeah,
he
I
uses
do.
that line later. I don't know what it does. I only know the
I don't know
sound
what
it
it's
makes
called.
when it lies.
I don't know that makes it lies.
Yes.
Supposedly, Danny McBride and Nick Nolte got like along so well throughout the filming that eventually they just stayed in the same hotel room together and just shot lines off of each other. Because for the most part, they don't interact with anybody else besides each other.
Yeah, it's true. Until really like the tail end of the movie.
Yeah, and like the very beginning, like the meat of the movie is pretty much them exclusively dealing with each other.
Yes. And then you've also got so here, this is where I'd say this is where we got the chopper set up, basically. So they're stealing the chopper that they came into, which gives us the setup for why there's a chopper at the Viet Cong base later, basically. Then here you have all the actors that are starting to fight between each other because, well, you know, they're prima donnas, basically. That's the only excuse I can give.
To go back to Nick Nolte's part and Four Leaf Tayback, so how many layers of lies do we have going on in this movie? Like, it's a movie about shooting a movie that's not really being shot anymore, about a book that is based on lies. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. Robert Downey Jr.'s characters lying to himself the entire time. The actors are living lies.
Al Pacino is living a lie.
Yeah,
you know,
he is.
This whole movie is just, and that's like the subterraneous layer here is that everything is built on lies.
That's Hollywood.
In the movie industry. In the movie industry. It's fantastic stuff. It's fantastic commentary that's never overtly said. And that's the thing that we don't get in today's filmmaking is everything has to be overtly said and in your face. But really, this is the subtext of the film is lies.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah,
And so yeah, this is how we get the rest of it. And then boom, we've got them arguing. Basically, they're arguing about the fart movie.
you wish your farts were as good as mine, or something like that. I forget the exact line.
Yeah, because he gets all offended. He's like, "My farts are funny. You wish your farts were as funny as mine."
Mm-hmm.
Which again, you know, is set up for the end of what Jack Black's character does. You know, to help people get out of a situation. You know, the fact of taking offense to the farts, and then this is the bat that just, you know, swoops in to get his jelly beans.
The fact that jelly beans has been like the most said thing in the chat is fantastic.
Jelly beans.
I love this because this is where the bat grabs it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And his line, Jack Black's line when the bat falls afterwards. I'm going to jump a little ahead here because there still is the whole like them talking while pissing scene. But like the bat like falls and he's like, I got you, you OD'd.
So yeah, like before the bat comes back, you've got the scene where they're basically speaking with each other, and so you've got
which I just want to say, if somebody came and stand next to me, I was peeing, I'd just be like, you need to get away from me. I'm trying to pee.
He's
here.
like, what is it? So the character's name is actually Brooklyn, I believe. He can't piss while they're standing there. That's like the whole thing. He's like, he's weirded out by this fact they're standing so close to him.
It's true. After that, you've got Ben Stiller coming in doing
who takes it to the next level. He pops open the booty sweat and starts like.
Right.
Like for me, the best thing about this scene is the character reactions from Ben Stiller and RDJ whenever it's their turn, you know, being in the background. Because once you have the booty sweat pop. Basically, you just have RDJ look at him, with the side eye, and then he's like,
Well, because they both know what's going on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then boom.
There it is. Here's the you OD'd. He starts fighting it. He's trying to get
And Alpa's like, man,
vicariously
that's
get
bad.
He's trying to vicariously get like the drugs through the blood of the bat.
Yeah, like I can't believe that he just bit its head off. He's like, it's just like, Jesus, man.
Hey, heroin's a hell of a drug.
It is. Then after this, then we have the Nick Nolte scene where they're arriving at the base, basically being taken hostage.
Legitimately in the helicopter while it's doing that turn, by the way.
Yep.
Like, he was like, that's why he looks terrified.
Like, I would be too. I would be too. Yeah.
Like I really wouldn't trust the seatbelt.
Oh my God. We got to see Cope. There was a Cope face reveal for a second. He had some guns on him, man. Did you see that? Sun's out, guns out for Copa.
Yeah.
Such a good-looking man.
Oops, wrong button. But yeah, what's funny is that he has the unit patch for air cavalry. Really, he's scared shitless of falling out of this helicopter.
Basically,
helicopters are scary, man. I've only been in one, and
helicopters like don't even make sense. Like,
yeah, I remember the one time I got into a helicopter. It was at like a fair or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. And the pilot was all like, he's like, do you guys want to ride or do you guys like want to ride? And I'm like, I want to ride. The first one, the boring one, I want to ride, not like a ride. I want to ride, okay? And even the whole time I was like, we're gonna die. This is not fun at all. So
the Copa OnlyFans stream has begun. Yeah, he kind of forgot. At about like 4:00 Eastern, you can switch over to his OnlyFans channel. So the link is in the description.
If you guys subscribe to my channel, I promise I show feet. I swear.
Nice.
Every review that I do, I show feet. So
my feet are all scarred up from years of jiu-jitsu because of like what's called mat burn.
Right.
Like I have like the tops of my feet are all scarred up.
They're not
quite Brie Larson levels of bad, but
yeah, I did my jiu-jitsu on my hands. My feet are perfect. Do not worry. They are smooth, guys.
Nice.
I don't get the fetish with feet sometimes. I think feet are gross. They're sweaty. They're stinky after a long day. I don't know.
I don't think feet are gross, but I don't get the fetish. It's
it's weird.
They're just feet. To me, they're just feet.
Tarantino on stream.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, that dude literally wrote a part in a movie just so he could suck on Selma Hayek's toes. So
that I understand.
Nice.
I
get that. Yeah.
I believe while we have that mentioned, isn't there some sort of Selma Hayek stream happening this weekend at some point? I believe I read something about that. Maybe someone wants to drop a little
Selma
knowledge
Hayek's,
about that.
most favorited and coveted film, The Faculty, will be talked about and discussed between myself and Uninspired tomorrow on my channel.
Look at that. That was like I'm just gonna like pat myself on the back. That was an expert level.
Dude, that was a nice little segue there. Thank you so much, Dark Hour. That was great. So yeah, you can check us out. We will all be showing feet tomorrow. Tomorrow night on the stream.
Nice. Uninspired has 4 feet because he's a cat.
Nice.
That's true.
I have paws, they're nice.
Yes.
But I always land on them, so
those beautiful pads. Nice.
And my wife,
jelly bean toes, if you will.
My wife
jelly bean toes.
Gross, dude. Yeah, and my wife co-hosts with me, and she's Persian and she has no feet because she was caught stealing bread one time. So she will not.
You know how the Persians are. Those Turkish, man, they're
it's hardcore, man.
Coming from Chad, like a really like Arab country in the middle of the fucking desert. That's what they do to thieves over there too. It's basically your arms or your leg. They just tell you to choose.
Right.
Which would you choose? I know we're derailing here, but which would you choose, arms or legs?
I would give up an arm.
I choose legs, man.
Yeah, I would choose legs too. Yeah.
Come on, guys, you need your legs. Oh my
god,
God,
you need your arms. I can't jerk off with no arms. like I'm sorry. And
oh my god, you're just not using your imagination, Matt.
I'm not using my feet. I'll tell you that. I'm not that flexible.
Isn't it hard to have sex with no legs? I mean, I don't know.
No,
you would think that's pretty
do with
hard
the
unless
nubs.
you could just lay there and let the other person do everything.
Well, that's just how I feel like I could do a lot more with no legs than I could with no arms. Like I get the bent paperback those paper clips that are bent backwards, the little tink legs. I would do all that.
I needed to do that for the rest of this conversation.
Yeah. So, but no, get rid of the arms over the legs.
Yeah,
I mean the
arms,
legs, the legs over the arms.
I get rid of the legs because like leg prosthetics are like way easier. And, it's simpler. And but like arms, I use my hands a lot. Like
What if they accidentally chop your crotch when they're chopping your legs? There's that too.
So here's the thing: is I think I could legitimately come up with an excuse for like permanent disability with my job a little bit easier with no hands. Like,
same here. I have to have my hands in order to do my job. Either that or it's just going to be all barking orders. So
yeah,
and pointing with nubs.
That's right, with my toes.
And we're back to feet. Okay, go on.
We also show prosthetic feet on my channel as well. So come on over.
Nice.
Yep. RRTNZ popping in at the best possible time. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Coming at us from down under.
Yep.
Right on.
That's right. He's from New Zealand.
Well, he's from Wales, but he lives in New Zealand.
Yes.
True.
That's a bona fide actor we have. In the chat, RRTNZ was in The Hobbit. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. You can see him. You can see him in the movie.
Okay, we gotta get back to this movie.
So this scene basically is. Let me just play the clip.
God damn it! We lost. We fucking super lost, man.
I don't believe you people.
Huh? What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh?
I love that.
I love how that.
It's the second one that always gets me. It's like.
I love that scene is cut. It's blocked in such a way that you can cut out a huge chunk of it and have it back to back in almost perfect loop.
Yeah,
because like they like everyone doesn't move. Like they're standing perfectly still from like one shot to the next.
Exactly. It's such a good scene too. And then this is where so basically he basically like peppers up Ben Stiller. He's like, you're like Cut Stallone or something. You
remember how in like Rocky 1 he was kind of puffy. Rambo 1 he was kind of puffy, and then in the second one he was all shredded. You look like that one, like
right.
Hey, can we just be honest for a minute that Stiller did get jacked for this?
Yeah, he looks good.
It's not the first time he's gotten like really cut, but he
was in really good shape for I think the closest movie to this outside of that was Dodgeball, which he was in pretty good shape for that too.
Yeah.
He's a guy who clearly takes like physical fitness seriously.
No, he puts in the work for sure.
I mean, even today he still looks pretty good.
For a guy who's like got to be like pushing 60. Right?
I think I
have to say that Ben Stiller is probably the closest we have to in our lifetimes as a Charlie Chaplin, someone who can write, direct, and star in their own comedy. And then
it helps that he came up with it. His family was comedians and stuff. So
yeah. But I mean, he obviously puts in the work in all of them. Each one of his films leading up to this one is so tonally different from the last one, and even Walter's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Yeah. Completely tonally different from this one. He puts in the work. I do have to commend him as an artist. He's fantastic. And he wears multiple hats, and he seems to be competent in each role that he takes on.
For sure. And it's weird because I feel like people don't really talk about Ben Stiller today as much as they used to. Even in that regard, like even as a director, a lot of people don't even know that he directed some movies. If you ask them today,
like we on Triple M, we did Cable Guy maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and
Cable Guy.
And I rewatched it and I was like, aside from what's going on screen, the direction is fantastic.
It is,
and his use of
camera
movement. If I recall
correctly, he's like not even really he's not in that movie, is he?
No, he plays in a background character. He plays the Menendez brother, Sam and Stan Swede, where the one brother killed the other. Yeah.
Copa, did you see the guy that plays Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad? You saw he was in it, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jack Black is in it.
Yeah,
it's one of Jack Black's first roles. Yeah, there's a lot of names that pop. Andy Dick's in it. Janine Garofalo's in it.
Mhm.
Neither one of those are names anymore, really. But
Janine
back in the
Garofalo,
day, there
like,
was somebody.
she her career went like off of a nosedive. Just to acknowledge what RRTN said, I'll pull it back up actually. Oop, wrong one. Yeah, like Dodgeball, Fat Cam movie still keeps in good shape. Heartwarming story about him and his wife separated during lockdown, rediscover their love.
Aww.
I mean, they've been married for quite a while at this point.
Mhm.
Like, by Hollywood standards, they've been together for like almost 20 years. Like,
yeah, for like a million years at this point for Hollywood standards. That's like 3-4 years and done. I mean, look at Tom Cruise, you know.
So
his parents were together for how long?
Oh,
Like
long
60
time.
years, something like that.
So this scene actually, the reason why he does that whole Stallone thing, that was all ad-libbed because they had no idea how to get him from where he's standing over to Ben Stiller to steal the map. So they actually just kind of made up a scene on the spot right here. Because they needed some sort of transition because he's clearly too far away to reach out and grab the map.
Right.
So
Well, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Give me the fucking map.
Give me that.
So you're a cartographer now?
All right. Yep. So, are you a cartographer now? It's like, come on. And the way that when he just takes it away from Ben Stiller, he's like, "Fuck you." It's like,
I know it's earlier in the movie, but a great line that he has. I don't remember exactly how he says it, but it's like, "We'll come back tomorrow. Same scene. Lost in the goddamn jungle."
And it's like, yeah. Then he has like with Simple Jack taking the lead or something. So yeah. So at this point, there's a question that I want to ask the panel. So, well, as a writer, there's this there would be a fine line between.
Well, start over.
We're losing you on
We
Inspired.
lost you a little bit in there. Just start over your question, please.
You guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I was saying, like, as a writer, especially doing a movie like this, you know, there's a fine line between a contrivance or a bunch of contrivances and proper storytelling. And so the example that I would like to give would be The World's End. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that movie. It's Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. It's part of that Cornetto trilogy.
It's part of the yes.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the movie, you basically have the entire movie given to you in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
what's going
the way
to
it's going to
happen.
go. Mhm.
Exactly. But the thing is that it's very different from what Tropic Thunder does, because that one is incredible setup that pays off, but it adapts itself, you know, at the same time. But Tropic Thunder is just like basically after they just they arrive at the what's it called, the drug place, and it's like, oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah, it's the drug processing plant.
Yeah, so it's like what's that fine line between, you know, good storytelling and just a bunch of contrivances put together? It's like, why don't we critique Tropic Thunder by saying, oh, it's a bunch of contrivances that are there, you know? That never pops up as a critique in mind.
Here's the thing: is it's never really 100% like determined whether or not what we're watching is the real story or them making the movie about the real story. So like, it could be that there's contrivances because there was no context that they just had to write around, kind of thing. Because at the beginning they say that this is the story of the people trying to make that movie. And then at the end, he wins the award for it. So
they set it up to be an unreliable narrator right off the bat with the fake trailers.
Exactly, with all of that. So like the contrivances are actually built into the story in that sense. Is that they can skip over parts because there might not actually be anything there.
Yeah, no, I like that answer.
That's fair.
I'm sticking with it. It's like, yeah. That's why, because I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, nobody ever brings up the fact that Tropic Thunder has a bunch of contrivances, and it's like, it is a fair critique to make, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like playing off of, or satirically playing off all the BS in Hollywood. And I think it's really great that each one of them kind of represents a different sect or a different type of actor stereotype. So I think that the contrivances are what you need in order to make this movie work, so to speak.
True. Yeah, it could work. Yeah, and well, it does work for Tropic Thunder because I mean, nobody complains about anything about it. Basically,
Tropic
it's
Thunder
full
is one of the most universally liked movies I think there is.
Oh, for sure.
I've never met a single person who says it's a bad movie.
I mean, maybe a modern person would say they wouldn't like it.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I've never met a person who matters that says that this movie is a bad movie. Like anybody who's just going to be a contrarian about it and just be like, oh, it's playing into stereotypes and stuff. I don't listen to that person anyway.
They probably have blue hair and are
Look,
non-binary, etc.
You don't got to talk about cynic like that, okay?
Oh, that is not right.
We'll clip this and send it to him. There you go.
Yeah. Everybody here loves the movie Cynic.
Yeah,
we actually probably love him more than he loves himself. He's very cynical about himself.
He is. And so moving on with the story, this part where they have this HD DVD discussion is basically just Jay Baruchel, who was babbling about this on set, and they just said, just add it in the movie. It's like, fuck it, yeah.
Apparently they had to go back and ADR it because he actually predicted that HD DVD was going to win, and then they went back and changed it right before the movie came out.
It's like, man. It's like RDJ's response is just like, "Are you talking to me
this whole time?"
Yeah, that was great.
No, that's your typical response for an HD DVD versus Blu-ray discussion for sure.
Honestly, I mean, I don't even know what the current equivalency discussion would be actually. Because first it was like, I mean, if you go back far enough, obviously it's VHS versus Betamax. Then it was Blu-ray versus HD. I don't even know what the equivalency would be.
I mean, today would be just like maybe the different qualities for downloading a movie or something like that.
It might be
like the 4K thing,
right? Yeah, 4K versus streaming, maybe.
Please have all the fun with the Liam Neeson dick jokes you want. It's completely there. I don't care if this is not Brownie's channel. Those are allowed.
Right on. That discussion I thought was interesting, but at the same time, I love how he's all like, "You're talking to me," and I was all like, "Yeah, who do you think he was talking?" And I love how he was just like, "I'm just talking." I apologize for my children.
No worries, man.
They are full beans today.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's kind of adding to the stream.
It's the ambiance.
Yeah, and I like how he talked about porn and everything, and I was just all like, "This."
Oh yeah, actually, hold on. I'll switch to that one real quick. Hold on. Porn shows the winner of these battles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, actually.
But yeah, I guess the streaming services would probably be the closest thing to that. It's like, which is the best streaming service to have?
Well, stuff is filmed on digital now, so it's not like So I would say that is it better to just digital download, or is it better to buy a 4K laser disc or something like that?
Well, I think that actually you might have just hit it on the head. It's the whether or not physical media is still needed kind of discussion, and I argue that it is. There's plenty of movies I don't care about owning a physical copy of, but like for instance, I have Matt. For instance, I made sure to buy a box set of Married with Children. Because I know that show's eventually going to get pulled off of.
Yeah, I was the same way about some shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, most shows I'm not too worried about a lot of shows because the ones that are really kind of out there are probably HBO things that won't get as touched. But I think anything that was on network television, like Married with Children, for instance, and those kind of ones, they might get hit eventually.
You know what my Blu-ray Gone with the Wind doesn't have? A disclaimer for 5 minutes telling me how it's offensive these days and it was shot for a different audience at a different time. And I don't need it. And that's the thing too, is they just had the French Connection get changed where certain N-word is dropped by our main character in context of who he is and what he's all about. And they've changed it up now to where he doesn't even say the line anymore. And it's stuff like that where I'm just like, absolutely not. You need physical media. Your favorites need to be on physical.
Right.
I agree for that, as well as I'm not sure if you guys watch South Park or not, but I have 3 episodes that you cannot find online anywhere at all.
Well, unless you want to illegally download them.
No, you can't find it. I've tried. There are 3 episodes literally that I could not find anywhere, and I've searched everywhere. Episodes? So there's the Super Best Friends where they actually
Yeah.
show Muhammad,
Yeah.
and then there's episode 200 and 201 where they talk about and like have him there, but you can't technically see what he looks like.
He's
and
censored, right? Is it censored?
yeah,
one?
like so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
put
yeah.
him in like a bear costume or like just have the censored bar or whatever. You cannot find those. And it's so weird because I can understand maybe the first one because you actually get to see like their depiction of him, but I can't understand why those two, the latter two, got taken off because you don't get to see him. They basically just allude to him, and in the second episode, it's all like a lot of stuff is bleeped out. So I don't get it, but
because Comedy Central got bomb threats over it.
yes,
wow.
no, I remember that, but they
Yeah.
didn't take them down from their site for a long time. So I don't understand.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't
I feel like the censoring part is that sometimes, especially when you add that censorship, it really doesn't make sense. Like as we were saying with Copa with the French Connection, and also like there's I think it's Die Hard 3. Basically, it's like the sign that he wears.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like it doesn't
I
make
hate
sense.
everyone.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't
Did
make
they change
sense.
it to that? Even
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
even on the rated R like streaming
Yes.
services?
Mhm.
I believe
You
so.
got to be kidding me! Oh, thank God I own it on Blu-ray.
And it doesn't make sense, in context of the
Right.
story. Like, why would he get attacked
why-
in that neighborhood? For
why
just
is
saying, "Oh, I
Harlem
hate
getting mad
everyone"?
that he's saying he hates everyone?
It's like, yeah. So, get your physical media, folks. That's the essential.
Oh, here we go. I'm trying. I had lost one of the chats that I had starred earlier. I wanted it.
Oh.
So yeah, any of the I have a couple starred. Don't get rid of those two.
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even looking at the comments, so I was just.
I don't know how it got lost, but I have it starred.
All
I
right.
had to scroll back pretty far to find it.
Damn. Then so now we've got the shot of Ben Stiller basically going his own way with
going
everyone
solo.
else and everyone else going their own way, and I like it because they like it's just good to have them separated to see what they can do because that's how their arcs are supposed to go. You couldn't see them. Yeah, like for example, for Ben Stiller, he'd have to lose someone and gain him back for his arc to fully flourish, to feel that loneliness, and that's what he does, basically, when we continue. So then we see him alone on his I think is it an iPod.
It's
Yeah.
I think it's some sort of isn't it like a he says like a digital cable device or something like that earlier in the movie.
Well, he has a satellite phone, I thought, and a GPS, but I thought he also had an iPod because he talked about like movies or being able to see
there it
TV
is.
or something with it.
iPod, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
an
that
iPod.
tent isn't that made of a magazine that was in the basket?
Yeah, it's all the magazines. Just
because
above
I
it.
thought isn't that Jessica Alba on the cover of it? I thought it was just I used to have a huge crush on her when I was younger, but I thought
I have a crush on her now.
Wait, it stopped?
Well, I really love Emma Stone right now. She's my
You
crush
don't
right
have
now.
to only have a crush on one
well,
celebrity.
that's
at a
my
time.
number one. Fine, Jessica Alba's my number
Matt
two.
doesn't want to cheat on Emma Stone. With...
Yeah, I don't want to cheat on her. She's
I mean, like
just so,
I
she's
have
so cute.
I have trouble like deciding between Haley Atwell and Kat Dennings. So
Right on. Well,
My-
that's a good.
My
debate.
celebrity crush is actually in this movie, and she's been my celebrity crush since I was a kid. Because it's like, damn.
hold on. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah, no, she's
Man,
she's hot.
Like
Not Marina Menounos?
No,
Maria
She's hot too.
like late 90s, early 2000s. Jennifer Love Hewitt is like, wow,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Jennifer Love Hewitt, that's top tier.
Right on.
So
So
that
yeah,
also
yeah.
had Sarah Michelle Gellar in it too. That
It
was
did.
Like, that
Yeah,
was like
it did.
that was a damn good cast for the 90s.
Mhm.
That was like
Definitely.
they were like the two like hottest like celebrities at the time.
Yeah, Buffy and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
And
Party of
Jennifer
Five.
Love Hewitt, who was in Party of Five and every movie, every teen movie there was.
Yeah, basically. And then eventually she made the tuxedo with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, aren't both those women Sarah Michelle Gellar and aren't they in I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah.
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 Or did
Yep.
you mention that? Sorry.
That's where
They
we
did.
I apologize. I'm
What's
sorry.
going
I'm
on
listening to
there?
my children in the back. Well, listen.
Listening to the children. I
You
can't
know,
listen to everybody.
Right.
Sarah
Only
Michelle
listen
Gellar,
so much.
I'll defend her. She's still the best live action Daphne we've ever got for Scooby.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
I mean, Yeah.
She's
Isn't she
the
the
best.
only live action Daphne?
And she's married to Fred in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was
That was Freddie Prinze, right?
Yeah, Freddie Prinze
yes.
Jr.
Jr. Oh man. But yeah, moving on, we get this this shot after he basically kills a panda.
Panda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
I
great.
love the lines, by the way, with him and Matthew McConaughey. I
Yeah.
killed the thing I love the most in the world. Oh shit, he killed the
It's
hooker.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not even he
Well,
asked
I
the
love-
secretary to get off the line first.
I
Get
love
off the line.
before he calls him and he's all like, when he's like talking to himself and he's like, I'm just saying that would have been nice to be nominated and everything. And then like,
Oh no,
he's
that's
like,
later. That's later.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
that's
later?
later.
Sorry, I thought that was
Yeah.
right before he called. Right before he called.
This one is just like he sees that thing, and then I don't even know, like, does he call Matthew McConaughey or does Matthew McConaughey call him?
He
No,
calls
he
Matthew
calls his
McConaughey.
agent because he's freaking out and he doesn't know what to do. You know, it's just playing on that whole trope of celebrities being helpless and used to people wiping their ass for them, so to speak. So
Yeah.
And you
After
just
that,
got to cut a hole in the mattress and then stuff the hooker in there and then put
Yeah.
the top mattress on top of that. And then you're good. You're good.
for legal purposes, that is a joke. ladies
That
and
is a
gentlemen.
joke. That is a joke. Yeah, that's
The uninspired hour or so does not advocate for murdering your
Yeah, no.
hookers and stuffing them in a mask.
Don't go to hookers. Just learn some game. Learn some game.
Just go
okay?
to
But if you
Denver,
have
you
to,
know.
please don't murder them.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Basically.
I am not going to judge you for one of those two things, and
Yeah.
the one where you murder somebody is the one I will judge you for.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, if you ever do, just use a lot of lime. It'll help.
Right. Yeah. A lot of lies.
Here we go. But this is the line right here. It's I killed a panda. And he's like, Amanda. That's
Amanda.
probably not even a real name, man.
It's just the way that he's so efficient about it too. It's just like, damn.
And I
think
like
that-
how he tells his secretary, he's like, get off the line. And she
Yeah.
like closes the blinds, but I'm pretty sure she didn't get off the line.
yeah.
good.
So my favorite thing about that is actually in the commentary. It's my favorite thing about the whole panda thing is just Robert Downey Jr. and Ben Stiller taking pop shots at Jack Black the entire time pandas are mentioned.
Oh,
he
that's
just
so
sits-
funny. I didn't
he
even
just-
think about that.
That's
He
right.
just
so
sits there and
funny.
he's like, "Hey, you guys trying to torpedo my best franchise? Like, what's going on here?"
Oh, man. And then so yeah, then after that we get the shot of these two who've been kidnapped, and this is where they still have their banter of oh yeah, it's your fault, you killed the director, no you did, and it's pretty nice, you know, having both of them together. Then we basically get Ben Stiller you know, Tug
Going-
Speedman
Go
completely
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
And yeah, he's speaking on the phone with his agent again. And then this is where yeah, I think this is it. This is the part where he calls his agent, and then he's about to get kidnapped.
Yes.
So the
This
fact
is the
that
whole
he,
Amanda thing, the Amanda
Yeah.
panda thing.
yeah, and then after that he basically gets kidnapped on call. But the way that it's it's framed for the agent, so Matthew McConaughey, it's as if he's going to another company.
Yeah,
just because
he's like
he didn't get
firing
the
him.
TiVo. Yeah.
He's like, I'll get the TiVo, I swear.
It's like, yeah, it's like, jacket on, I'm leaving the door. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go see Les Grossman and talk to him about the contract. It's like, yeah,
Right.
fuck it, he'd do that. Then this is where we get to Jeff Portnoy and basically him getting all of the how do you call it, the withdrawal symptoms that are becoming worse.
Mhm.
And you have
Oh, the DTs.
yeah. And then you've got RDJ. Basically, Brandon T. Jackson's character says the N-word, and RDJ takes offense, and that's when
Yeah.
he hugs him.
that word been holding our people down.
Right.
100 years. And he
I
sings
tried-
the Jeffersons song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, which I love that theme song. I think I would say that's the best theme song for a TV show. But
I love it when like Brandon T. Jackson, he just says, "You really got a problem, don't you?" It's like, yeah. And I tried to fit the whole clip, but it would have passed copyright, man.
Right
It's,
on.
Copyright really sucks sometimes.
It does suck, yeah.
Oh man. Then it's like, yeah, they've got the buffalo, and so they basically set up the buffalo for him to be carried with it. And while at the same time, since Tug Speedman's just got kidnapped, he's on his way, and we get our first look at the child emperor. Basically, I don't know what his name is actually.
They say it at one point.
Like the actor? Or
No,
Tran is the character. Tran.
Ah,
That's it,
Tran.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So yeah, and then after we've got our first look at him from in the shadows, and
This
don't
scene
know
was not in the theatrical version.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, this scene is in the theatrical version. So I have a weird problem with this scene. Is like he serves him tea and he's nice, but they think that Tug Speedman is a DEA agent. So I don't really get
I loved that.
why. Like I don't really understand why he's being nice to him. You know,
because it's like good cop, bad cop. He's gonna like butter him up to like let him get taken down by everybody else. Plus, it's already been shown that he's not like of the like thugs, the like drug thugs. He's like clearly the one who is not, despite being the number 2, he's the least bought into the whole situation.
Right.
He also, and on top of that, he plays the straight man so well. Like later, I hope you got a clip of it, but.
Yeah, this is Reggie Lee, this actor Reggie Lee. I love this guy. He's in like a lot of smaller roles, but I really do love this guy. He's pretty great.
he's a dude that you always see in movies, and then you're like, oh, I recognize him, but you don't really know his face that much.
Yeah,
And
he was in what's that Sam Raimi movie with the devil or the demon? I can't remember, but that's my favorite movie.
Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah, Drag Me to Hell. He's in that movie, and I love him in that movie.
It's funny, Dark Hour is like the second time we do a 2-host stream. It's the second time we also talk about Drag Me to Hell. I was saying like on the last one how it gave me my fear of parking garages and people in my car. So.
Right on. I'm scared of gypsies, so yeah.
And, so then after that they stumble on basically the Flaming Dragon is the name of the corporation. So they stumble on the Flaming Dragon's drug emporium, as I like to call it.
Right.
And they see Tug Speedman getting tortured, and he's yelling, cut.
Yeah, so good.
Apparently they did this over the course of 2 days. He said the first day wasn't so bad. The second day was like way worse.
Oh, I can imagine. Then so this is where we get Tran. I don't know.
Yeah,
I forget.
Tran. Yeah,
Tran. Yeah. Then he's whipping Tug Speedman, and that's when he stutters like Simple Jack, and that's when Simple Jack is our number one thing. It's like the only media that we've ever consumed. We didn't have it on VHS.
Yeah. Which doesn't even exist here, or it didn't even exist here at that time anymore.
Actually, they were still making VHSs at this time.
Were they? In 2008?
The only reason I know that is because when Iron Man came out, my college was able to get like a specialized like copy advanced to us while it was still in theaters. And they did it on VHS because VHS was harder to make like copies of. For some reason. I didn't think that was the truth, but
that's weird.
So they sent us a VHS of it, and so they were still making VHSs in 2008. Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't see them anywhere after like 2005, so I just assumed they were all gone. At least in the stores here.
In my house, like that's it. Like the old cartoons that I had on VHS, that was about it. But yeah, even growing up, in West Africa, as like there, it's mostly DVDs, But yeah, VHS you rarely find. And so this is when Matthew McConaughey's character goes in and sees Les Grossman.
Right. Yeah, I love this
with the epic entrance. It's like here, talk to Tug Speedman. It's like, damn. This is basically how the conversation goes. Let me play the clip.
I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up.
I love it.
That's how
please tell me the next still frame is the guy looking at the phone. Please tell me.
No.
Because he's like
everyone's so confused. They were like, "Oh my god!" It's like,
I just love when he tells them to like, fuck your own face.
Yeah. Hey, okay, Flaming Dragon, fuck face. Why don't you take a big step back and literally fuck your own face?
Yes. I was like, Les Grossman is savage, man. I like this guy.
Also 100% ad-libbed, might I add.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And then so then after you got Ben Stiller's character basically just doing a Simple Jack performances on stage, and you've got all of them trying to figure out how to free him, and then we get the call, which I just really like this one.
That's so good.
I even preferred this one to the first one. So
Go
it's
fuck yourself.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Laughing makes the whole thing.
It is
Exactly.
very good. It's very good.
And it's
How
how
about I
it's
send
how,
you a hobo's dick cheese?
yeah. It's the way that Tom Cruise just says it, you know, like with an absolute straight face. He's like, "We don't negotiate with terrorists." Like, yes,
love
boss.
it.
That was like a phrase of the era too. You got to remember.
Right.
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
Then so yeah, I think that also in this scene we get a lot of insight on Les Grossman's character, you know, a lot more because, for example, the first thing that they say when they're discussing about Flaming Dragon is yo, look, they have a huge profit margin. Not that
Yes.
you know, they're making
Huge
drugs
profit
or
margin.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Wow.
it's the illegal drug trade. It's
It's like the first thing they go to is the profit margin. It's like, yeah, sure. And then he starts dancing, and this is where he gives him the ultimatum of basically either we leave Tug Speedman to die, and you get a G5 jet. I think that's it.
a G5
Or-
airplane and lots of money.
Lots of money.
G5.
And I
they
know
don't
you
really
want the
care.
goodies.
Yeah, the goodies. Yeah.
Like they don't really care because they say that the insurance is gonna make more money for them, like instead of the movie itself. So they're just like,
Yeah, because
you
the
know,
movie
him.
was bleeding money.
yeah,
Sorry.
basically. It's like
It was basically like the producers like concept of how to make money. Like have a bomb that you could then like claim the insurance on.
Yep. Then then after that we get this nice moment with RDJ and Brandon T. Jackson's character, which I like because I feel like it adds a lot to why RDJ becomes like Kirk Lazarus in the end and leaves this persona. Because throughout the movie it's basically him and Brandon T. Jackson interacting and bouncing off each other, you know, because they each have pairs basically, and this is like one of the pairs. The other pair is Jeff Portnoy and Jay Baruchel's character. And so yeah, you know, exactly there. It's like tie me to a tree and don't listen to whatever I say. Then this is where we get the Apocalypse Now references that start with Ben Stiller, so Tug Speedman going mad, and he has his kid. I mean, his kid.
And he gives him the Twigman, and that's a
Yeah.
little half squat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half squat. Half squat.
Half Scott giving him a twig Oscar, basically.
Yeah.
Twigman.
Yeah, the Twigman. I just like this shot.
Let's
ahead,
we have a couple of super chats, so let's just do
All right,
those.
sure.
Like, this one's a bit out of place, but it's RTNZ, so and he came in a little late, so we'll just we'll go since we just did some stuff for Les Grossman. Anyone want to take this one or?
Yeah,
Sure,
I'll
I'll
do it.
do it.
Oh, no,
All right, go, Matt, go.
Okay.
Matty, go.
You're a great American. This country owes you a huge debt. Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job. Cruz's delivery is perfect. Always has me rolling on the floor.
Thank you, RTNZ. For
Thank you, mate.
That was it's a little. Obviously, that's from earlier in the film, but I based on the time differential, I figured it was a good spot to put that.
It was.
And
sure.
I think this part was right after they were up on the hill or something. Sorry, I didn't go eat your baby.
Yeah,
It was
'cause-
Waylon
yeah.
Bucephalus.
Well, it does, and later on when he or maybe it was, I can't remember, but when he just makes all these Australian references, and he's like, "That was a true story."
Yeah. He's like,
like,
you know, a lady really lost her baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
And that is a
because-
real story, by the way.
that is.
I can tell you that.
Dingo ate
Yeah.
my baby.
Yeah.
And then because he even he says something about like Crocodile Dundee, or that man's pump the brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure.
Right. Yeah.
Not all Australians feel that way, by the way, but yeah.
No, Dundee.
Thank you, Waylon Bucephalus for that one as well. That's
Thank you, mate.
honestly, like it's almost the weird thing about this, and that kind of highlights it. This movie has great pairings of characters that play off of each other. Like, you know, Kirk Lazarus and Al Pacino play really well off of each other, as well as Kirk Lazarus and Tug Speedman play really well off of each other.
Yes.
I don't know what Danny McBride's character's name is, but him and Nick Nolte play well off of each other. Matthew McConaughey and Tom Cruise play well. It's almost like they have these pocketed little conversations that just work so well together.
I mean, yeah, it's like
agree.
that. That's how you should play to your strength, especially when you have a big cast, which is what you see in most ensemble movies. Is that you always see them being paired up in twos or threes, just so that the movie can happen. I mean, look at for example, I don't know, like the biggest ensemble movie like that I remember would be like Endgame, like in recent times. And
Yeah,
then
the biggest ensemble cast ever. Like, I don't think there's anything that has a bigger cast than that.
I think they had like Amsterdam and then that flop.
Oop, you're breaking up again.
Well, there's also Pulp Fiction as well, which was a major cast.
I mean,
I think
yeah,
overall
but-
though, like just the amount of people who were like could have been stars in any movie they wanted to be for Endgame were just insanity.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then so yeah, we've got Jeff Portnoy stuck to the tree, and
My favorite my favorite scene with him.
he's cussing out everyone basically. What does he say about Jay Baruchel's mother? I keep
says
Your
She's a
mother is a
cankerous whore.
cantankerous whore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cantankerous whore. And then he immediately says, "Hey, remember a while ago when I said that? I didn't mean that."
But it's so good. And then like this is a nice like light part of the film. The calm before the storm, basically, with everyone just talking about their relationships and seeing.
He drops the Lance word.
Yeah, she says Lance. It's like,
Which has a great payoff later.
Lance.
It does.
I said Nance. Nance. I like the pussy.
Right, yeah.
When you were singing "I love the pussy," were you really thinking about dangling Lance's dice on your forehead?
His balls on your forehead. And then they cut back to Jack Black, and his line is like,
I'll cradle.
but he starts out. It's Al Pacino. If you cut me off this tree, I will literally suck your dick.
Yeah.
I'll cradle the balls, I'll stroke the shaft, I'll work the pipe, and swallow the gravy.
Yeah.
And that's definitely someone's gonna clip that and throw that into something. Now I just said that.
Oh, for sure. We're basically gonna make that go viral. Dark Hour saying this. Like,
I mean, I'm cool with it. Anything that draws views, I'm cool with it.
And then so after this, we've got basically the beginning of the assault with
The wet offensive. Oh, don't forget that Jack Black's character gives them the dumbest possible idea to try and do this.
Yeah.
he says that he was in a low budget titty flick for Skinamax, where he was part of the fat kid camp that had to get into the rich girl camp. And so they tied a bunch of logs together with their underwear and catapulted themselves into the camp.
It's just like RDJ's reaction when he says that. He just rolls his eyes. He's like, "What the fuck?" It's so good. I mean, there's so many like one-liners and little moments in the movie. It's like that just makes the entire movie.
Right.
I'd honestly show the entire movie on stream if I could, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you would. But there's a problem. There's copyright laws.
Yeah.
And then so we get the beginning and reference to Apocalypse Now, but done cheap, I guess.
Right on.
Lance, what the fuck did I just hear, Lance?
He said Nance. That's not even a good name.
This
Nance.
is, oh my god, the amount of like just insanity that goes into this concept of. So now, just think about this for a second. You have Robert Downey Jr., who's playing an Australian, who is playing a black guy, who can't break character from that black guy by his own internal rules. So he has to continue playing Lincoln Osiris while trying to pretend to be this rice farmer. So that's why his voice sounds the same, but he's doing it in Mandarin. It's such a there's like 4 layers to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And like RDJ never breaks character. It's so good. Like the way
good. I really hope that you have a lot of these like the quotes that he says.
This is all I have.
Oh man, I should have told you to grab some because some of them are really good.
Yeah, what does he say about electrolytes?
I'll just see if I can pull up a list.
Oh, it was I love the electrolytes comment. Like I love
you guys can keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, no, I love this scene because I'm all like, listen. Listen.
Here we go.
I know it may be a little politically incorrect, but his eyes are clearly not Asian. You can tell. I don't understand how anybody was fooled by this. I'm like, but And like his hat, his hat looks like it was made of paper mache. I'm all like, this is ridiculous, but at the same time, it was super fun. It was super fun.
Maybe he's super broke and couldn't afford a nice hat.
maybe.
I mean, you've got like the backstory too to say why he can speak Mandarin.
Yes, they
logical.
do set that up.
They do, which is good. It's good.
Yeah, it's like it's not just a type of like Deus Ex that just pops up of nowhere, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like boom. Well, it's more of a contrivance, you know. It's like, oh yeah, you can just speak Mandarin. It's like, damn, okay. But at least they set up like for the first time we see him, we know that he's a method actor. Then it's like, all right, everything like nothing is off the table with him, you know. As long as he's probably done a movie with it, they can put it in. Dark Hour, you found any?
I'm looking. There's not like a condensed list or anything. I'm just finding random ones.
All right, don't worry. Well, I'll continue while you find them.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it.
So then, so this is when Al Pacino finally tells like both of them that, hey, you guys didn't kill the director. You stepped on a landmine. It's like,
right.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
I love their reaction when they're like, "You have hands?
Yeah.
Oh my God!"
I mean, everyone is like, "Fuck, you have hands." It's like Kirk Lazarus at the end is like, "Fuck, man, Jesus." It's, like, it's so good. It's like, yeah, first you said rice paddy, now you said puppy farm. It's like he just keeps coming up with the dumbest stuff.
So one of the lines is just the one that you were talking about. He's just like, my head is dehydrated. I need electrolytes for my pea brain, which is constipated.
He just like keeps bringing up everyone. It's like, I don't know, man. I wonder if it's actual Mandarin that he's speaking, or if it's.
I think it is. I believe it is.
I hope so, because there's a scary movie when they did the parody of The Grudge. Basically, they were just saying like Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi.
I meant this morning. Forgive my stupidness. My head is dehydrated. I need electrolytes for my pea brain, which is constipated.
That's good.
And then what is it? Jack Black. I don't know Chinese, but it sounds like your improvisation is for shit.
Yes, that was great.
Why do you cover your face? Here
Oh yeah.
I'm finding some of them here. So.
Why are you covering your face? It's like a transvestite attacked me in the middle of the night and ripped out my cheek, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
2-3 times a year, I go to farmer's market. This time, most radical transvestites seduce me to outhouse. And when I drift off after make explode, she has stole my cheek with most of teeth.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
I'm just gonna keep going through them as you guys talk.
Oh, for sure.
Them.
Oh, right on. Yeah, do it.
And so basically, this is when he fucks up by saying that he's going back to his puppy farm instead of a rice paddy after giving away Jack Black's character. And let me just play a little clip here. I think yes. So yep, this is gonna be.
Here's my motherfucking farm. I'm a lead farmer, motherfucker!
I love how he crosses the M16.
Right.
Problem is, a lot of these, a lot of the lines are like background noise lines that you can't actually find. But there is one where he's like, "Oh yes, I grow both. I diversify."
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like it's just so good. It's like, I'm a lead farmer, motherfucker.
It is good. It is good.
and it's funny because you still keep in mind that these guys are just shooting blanks.
Yeah.
There's no way he would have been able to akimbo 2 M16s like that.
Yeah.
Without any kind of recoil.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's good.
Then boom, it's like they all like leave their guns on the ground, and I mean Jeff Portnoy directly takes the kid. He's like, "Show me where the drugs are."
He basically pulls the gun out of his ass.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does.
The entire
Literally.
time that the RDJ is basically shooting, that's what he's doing. He's just
like, it looks like he's like basically like he's like elbow deep in his own shorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. Then then this is when we start getting to the Tropic Thunder, not Tropic Thunder, the Apocalypse Now type of references, hardcore references, especially to the ending of the movie. with the lighting, the music. I mean, even what's the kid's name again at the back?
It's
Half squat.
Yeah, half squat.
By the way, a lot of the guns are wrong for the period they're supposed to be in.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe the one that Stiller was carrying was an M4 carbine, which wouldn't be invented for like well after Vietnam. So it didn't make any sense that he was carrying that one.
That's funny.
Yep. Then yeah, these are like the direct Apocalypse Now references with everyone saying like, oh yeah, so he's basically gone mad, and he likes the fact that the people here appreciate him. Whereas now, since it just ties into with his character, with how they say that he doesn't have anyone in general, how he's basically a failing movie star now, and it's like it's interesting, but it's still fucking stupid, for him to stay there. It's like, come on, man, they chain you up.
Exactly, you're being held hostage.
He's
guest.
brainwashed because he's brainwashed.
It's like Munchausen syndrome, or not Munchausen, but
it's Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, yeah.
Thank
Stockholm
you. I don't
syndrome
know why.
But he says something around something along the lines of like I'm playing to a standing room only crowd 5 times a day, which to him is like that's all he ever wanted was people to appreciate his work.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it does play into like he's brainwashed, but in a way that makes sense for who he is as a character. It's like he's never been appreciated for actually being an actor.
Maybe, except like, and so like that's how eventually after they tell him that I think it's Scorcher 1 was a great movie, that's how they try.
I got high to that shit, man.
Yeah. You're the reason I got into acting.
Yeah. So then right now we've got Karate Kid 2.0, basically. Jeff Portnoy versus.
I mean, here's the thing: is like I understand it's a movie, but if a dude the size of Jack Black tackled like a 12-year-old kid off of a second-story balcony and landed on him, that kid would never.
I mean, look, he's not a normal kid. Look at the imprints that this dude is leaving with a kick, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Came straight out of Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, right on.
So yeah, then outside we've got Brandon T. Jackson's character. That's basically keeping guard, making sure everyone stays away from their guns. But
at the same time, don't forget he's also like trying to like advertise for himself to this group.
Yeah.
Well, but I like how this guy was like, he was like, my name's Al Pacino. He's like, oh, like the guy that was in this movie and this movie. He's like, no, wrong guy.
Yeah, it's like you're not the real one. That's why he got so angry. He's like, fuck it, man. It's not the real Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And boom, he starts getting shot. And this is basically the aftermath of Jeff Portnoy slamming the kid into the ground like 2 stories.
Yeah, this kid would never walk again. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And then after that, we've got
Pride doing like the greatest slingshotting of all time.
Yeah.
Yep. The pyrotechnics, like that's what I wanted to talk about. It's like, damn, it's really like good for this movie. The fact that they went basically all practical. So just before we talk a bit more about the practical, let me just show a clip. It's like those were actual like stunt people that were just next to the blast.
CGI hadn't really taken over at this point. I wonder if they would have made this movie like 5-6 years later if they would have tried to save money with CGI.
I mean, 2008, you had you already had, I think it was you had the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Then after that, you also had the Transformers too.
It hadn't taken off at all, but it hadn't become like such a crutch yet. Like they were practical effects. Because remember, I think only like a year or so after this, Inception came out, where there was like they tried to use every single practical effect in the book.
Yes.
Even in the same year, The Dark Knight, they literally flipped a truck with like a piston, like driving. And
yeah.
So it's like there was still like a love for practical effects at this point. I mean, I don't think that the love for practical effects has ever disappeared.
Right.
It's just that like studios just don't want to do them anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that ended after like Avatar, because Avatar was the year after Tropic Thunder came out.
Is it really cheaper to do CGI over practical effects? I feel like practical effects, it would just, I mean, I know it's only one and done, but like it doesn't take it as much time.
It's time saving is all it is.
Yeah.
That's all
Is it-
CGI is used.
Because it used to be more expensive to do CGI than practical
So the
effects.
reason why it's time saving is because you don't need to, like for this particular thing, they get one shot at doing this, and then they have to fix. If it goes wrong, they have to rebuild that whole thing and blow it up again. You can film most of the movie on a sound stage, and then just like keep tweaking it as you go along with the CGI. Whereas here, you really have to be sparing. You probably do this shot maybe 2 times. So if the first time doesn't go well, you like.
Yeah, I mean, take for example, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. You know, the bridge scene. They only had like 1 try with that. That was it. If the charges didn't detonate properly, then they were fucked for an entire sequence.
So it's cheaper in the sense that it saves time because you can then do more in a shorter period of time. So it's, I guess, per hour it's cheaper, but it's not. It definitely doesn't save money because of the way that these studios have to be paid and stuff.
I mean, there's an interesting thing that Seth Rogen said. I think it was on a Corridor Cruise. You know, they do a VFX artist reacts thing. And so they had Seth Rogen on, and he was saying that he always tried pushing for miniatures during his movies and stuff like that. And the studio just flat out refused, saying that everything was so expensive. But CGI was cheaper in a sense because he said you could have the same shot made for $2,000, or you could have the same shot made for $200,000. You know, so it was just that range that depends on everything. And I don't know. I think that. It leaves more possibilities open, so it depends on what you want, But if you're going practical, you have a set amount of money to spend, technically, without fucking up.
Well, this is why when you're writing a movie, you have to make budget priority number 1 while you're writing it, so you're not stuck with like, hey, we can make this shot $2,000 or $200,000, but the difference between the $200,000 and the $2,000 one is night and day. It's like looking at a Pinto right next to a Lamborghini. So you have to be really mindful when you write movies that you have to go, okay, this could be our budget if we, tone down like the effects here.
Right.
And I think that's what CGI has done to us these days is we sit here and go, there's no limit to our imagination, but sometimes the greatest inhibitor of your imagination is the sandbox and the borders that those things create.
I agree. Yeah. Plus I do think that CGI has its place, but I think that when it comes to explosions, like for this, I mean, we talked about Oppenheimer earlier, and I didn't think the practical effects was all that great for that mushroom cloud. But but for stuff like this, I think a real explosion is way better than any CGI explosion, because it's like you see it and you're like, yeah, somebody could have really got hurt there. So for me personally, I like this a lot better. But I mean, it's
and no matter how good it is, the human eye can see the difference between.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Like even some of the best CGI of all time, like people always bring up Jurassic Park. You can, if you're just turned off, like, yeah, you're not going to notice it.
Right.
But if you're really paying attention, you can see where it changes.
Absolutely.
And because there will always, and I don't think that will ever be fixed, to be honest with you. Like I don't think that. I think it's impossible to 100% fool the human eye.
Sure, with Jurassic Park, it's a perfect blend of practical and CGI. Obviously they were limited to a computer farm back in the day. In those times, it was like, I don't know, 100 computers in a room trying to do what one computer does today. But it was a nice blend, and they were limited to what they could do with the CGI. Mm-hmm. These days, it's like every single effect that you saw in Jurassic Park would be CG today, and nothing is tangible for the actors. Like, they had a big giant T-Rex head for the actors to play against.
Yeah, I mean, one day we'll definitely have to talk about Jurassic. I love that they didn't act. The head wasn't actually supposed to come through that truck.
Yeah,
it broke the plexiglass by accident.
Man. But with filmmaking, those happy accidents can make a film that much more better.
I mean, they were. Right. It was a very happy accident because they were about like 4 inches away from killing those kids. So
well, I mean, the daughter was kind of annoying.
Yeah. Fuck your kids, bitch.
But yeah, like, but no matter what you do, the weight of seeing a real explosion will always like you can even like in real life you can even like have that feeling. You can watch fake fireworks on a screen. It will never be the same.
Oh,
as
like
seeing
the drone ones.
Yeah, like the drone one. But it will never be the same as seeing them in the sky for real.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, also, since it's an action movie, and Copa, you're an action man, but this question goes to the panel too. It's like, what do you guys think of the evolution of? So basically, now we CGI in muzzle flashes, and also blood squibs. Blood squibs are fucking dead now.
I understand the muzzle flash ones because sometimes the close quarters with the muzzle flash can be dangerous. So I understand, and I can appreciate them being like weary about having too much of that.
But like blood squibs.
Blood squibs is kind of ridiculous unless you're doing something cartoonish like 300. That made a ton of sense, but the muzzle flashes don't bother me too much, except for like when you do a wider shot and you see like a machine gun going off, like in Extraction 2, you're watching him hold an M60 and he's just firing off an entire belt into a helicopter, but his arm's barely moving with the gun. Like you could tell the direction was move your arm as if it's really firing, and
yeah, it's there's no recoil. I mean, there's even not that much recoil for blanks to begin with, so it's like they already have to like but at least when you're firing like real blanks and there's like you can at least feel when you're supposed to move your arm. When you're just doing it digitally with a fake gun, it will never match up properly.
When you're watching Arnold fire off an M60 single-handedly in Commando, he's really firing that off. Like, he's really moving his arm, or the recoil's really moving his arm back. It's not like he's playing that. I mean, he might be playing it up a little bit, but it's not by much, but you mirror that with what you see in Extraction, same weapon, and Chris Hemsworth is barely moving with the gun. The gun's barely moving, and that's just all because it's CGI. It's CGI'd in. I also want to say thank you, Uninspired, for calling me an action man. I am an action man.
Yeah,
Copa,
we have a huge appreciation for the action genre around here.
Yeah. Copa is the man, like, for action, man. I mean, like, I'm sub to his channel, so technically, I can bench press, 400% more than usual.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah,
exactly.
For me, I never bench press, so that means that it's 0 times 400%.
Yeah, but if you're subscribed to me, you could already bench like 250 plus pounds. So
yeah. I mean, you subscribe to Copa, you basically just have hair that just pops out of your chest directly. It's like, boom.
That's very true.
For every subscriber I get, I lose a hair, so you can gain some.
Yeah, look at all this hair I got.
That doesn't entice me as a female. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I have no desire to have hair on my chest.
Okay. All right, let's get back to the movie, shall we?
Yeah, let's get.
So then,
we're getting bogged down here.
We are.
That's right. Time to bog up, bruh.
Yeah.
So then, we've got the basically the shootout with everyone, with reinforcements coming through, and Nick Nolte just saves Brandon T. Jackson's character coming in with in clutch with the
music for that scene is fantastic. It's like
it's good.
And then boom, we cut back to Ben Stiller's character, Tug Speedman, and this is where we have the where is it? Let me check if I have the clip. And yes,
me, I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yep. And it's like, come on, man. And then that's when he looks at him. He's like, you don't really know who you are. And yeah, that's when he accepts.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
The line that they break him out of his like psychosis because like he's able to like deprogram, which is a great line. I'm not reprogramming a VCR, man. But then they like don't quite get Stiller's character, the Tug Speedman there. And so like they like turn to him and they're like, "How about you? We need you." And he's like, "I'm a rooster illusion."
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck it. We'll help him later. Let's get him out of here.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So this is the last time we see
Osiris.
Afro Downey Jr. You know.
Yeah.
Then boom.
That was a good transition you did right there. Do that again.
Yep. And boom.
Boom. That was fantastic.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's it. That was the last time we saw Afro Downey Jr. That's it. We thank you for your service as a black man. I thank you for your service, RDJ.
Yes.
You know?
He really brought the black community up a little bit.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
Now, one thing I've always kind of been curious about, because his like pigmentation stuff starts to come off. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an injection.
But it lasted like the whole time until then.
Yeah,
and I don't understand it. It was like it's supposed like I thought it was like a medical procedure where they
Yeah,
injected
they
it.
said it was plastic surgery, and he even had certain things enlarged as well. I think is what they said at the beginning.
I think like they basically because his nose looks different. I think he had his nose made larger.
Yep. But I don't know.
I think
It's
they're trying to
weird.
play up a PR stunt, maybe.
Yeah.
Like his people are trying to do the PR thing and lie about it, but really it's just contacts and shoe polish.
I know. I would think that like the film is just going on that symbolic route where it's like don't think too hard about the practicality, just like see the symbolism of him, shedding his skin, basically. I guess. I don't know.
I still love that. I love that line though, where he's like, they found me in the back of a whatever, like a
trying to re-enter Earth's atmospher in an old
re-enter
box.
Earth's atmosphere in an old refrigerator box.
After playing
Neil
Neil Armstrong.
Moonshot.
And then so yeah, this is finally where we get to Jay Baruchel's character that's leading everyone. Well, and plus the way that he's doing it with actual tactical sweeps, since as we said before, he's the only person, like he's the only one that went through boot camp. And yeah.
The insecurity level with you guys is ridiculous.
And then we've got him leading out everyone while Danny McBride is placing up the explosives on the bridge.
Did I save that one? I didn't. Somebody, I think it was Waylon Pacephis earlier, said, "I'm switching to catering after this shit." I'm pretty sure he says it at this point.
Oh, don't worry, I have that on tape.
No, right on.
And then so they take the thing to escape, and this is when this dude is a badass. He survived the fall, he survived Jeff Portnoy, and what does he do? Well, let's see.
Oh my God, I'm moving to catering after this.
It's like Danny McBride, man. He just delivers it so well.
And he has very limited lines, but when he gets a chance, he always stands out. I really do think like this kind of was what put him on the map.
Oh, for sure. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I like Danny McBride in that Seth Rogen movie with Jay Baruchel too. It's called "This Is the End," where they all play themselves. It's like, man, Danny McBride just plays Danny McBride in every movie.
One of the first movies I saw Danny McBride in was Pineapple Express. Where he played the drug dealer. I can't remember Seth Rogen's character's name in that, but man, he was so hilarious. He's like, "I had you over for dinner, man, last night. Fish tacos." It's just so funny. His delivery on everything
he has such a unique voice. He doesn't sound like anybody else. So
no, he doesn't. And his shows are funny too. His HBO shows.
Eastbound and Down is one of them.
Eastbound and Down, and then Vice Principals, and he has a new one out called The Righteous Gemstones, and that's supposed to be good too. I haven't seen it yet.
Is that like the religious rich people show?
Yeah.
Right on.
Have you seen
Danny
it?
McBride also,
I have not, no.
Okay.
Like he was also part of the people that brought back Halloween, if I remember correctly, the 2018 remake. I think he wrote it.
Maybe.
Well, shame on him.
No,
the first one wasn't bad. It was
he
the two
wrote
sequels that were bad.
the 2018 one. He wrote the 2018 one. I was like, wow, well, he's pretty good in horror too. Maybe if he wrote the other ones too, it would have been better. But Jesus, man, evil dies tonight, my ass. All right, moving on. But so yeah, they finally the accident snaps Tug Speedman out of it, and this is where he says Jay Baruchel's name for the first time is like Kevin Sandusky. It's like, yep, my name. That's it. So you've got the posse coming through basically, and I don't understand why they're walking. Actually, it's like they know that the other people, like they know that everyone else has a chopper.
Don't forget that Stiller rips the sleeves off and then runs and jumps over the flaming barrel for no reason. There's like 12 feet to either side of it, and he jumps over it for no reason.
Yep. I mean, it's just little moments like that, and then this is where they go separate ways, and it's like, I'm gonna stay. It's like, dude,
I have a son now.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
So,
little half squat.
So I have to ask. So Rennie, being the local Australian specialist around here.
Okay.
How is Robert Downey Jr.'s Australian accent? If you need to, you can call in phone a friend on this one.
I believe he is indisposed at the moment, but he said it's not too bad. But of course, you can tell after hearing it all day, every day, that it's definitely not authentic.
Right on, man.
You think he was cracking his friend Mel Gibson's Australian accent?
Possibly.
Oh my
Mel
gosh.
Gibson's
Mel Gibson sounds American now, and I think one thing.
Accent's fun.
Yeah, he's like literally he's lived in America for too long. But did you guys know he was born in America, but just lived the bulk of his life in Australia until he came back?
He was born in New York, wasn't he? He's in New York,
Yeah, I think so. So I thought that was interesting, but Australia can have him because he's crazy. So
And that's where all the crazy shit is in Australia.
Yeah.
Rennie, is there an actor that you don't think is crazy?
Well, you have to understand with Tom Cruise and Mel Gibson, I think those are pretty easy targets on the crazy spectrum, but I don't think all of them are crazy. It's just those two are kind of the
down to earth.
Okay. It's just like, yeah. Okay.
It is funny though, because like for all the years of here's a good one. I don't call it hot Canada. I call it British Texas.
Oh, yes.
It's if Texas and England had a baby. That's basically what Australia is.
I call Australia non-existent. I don't believe it exists.
I believe it's the promised land.
Like they have a giant huntsman spiders, so I call it hell. So
Right.
Yeah.
It is a
supposedly,
continent that is trying to kill you at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, huntsmen are the good ones, and they protect you from all of the poisonous stuff. That's what I've been told on several occasions.
The one that is the most dangerous one is the Sydney funnel web,
or the whitetail.
Yeah, the Sydney funnel web has a tendency to also like go and decide to just live in your shoes.
So, great.
Yeah. Because they literally build their webs like in like pockets like this, so it'll go inside your shoe because it makes sense. It's a pocket. So,
the day we cover a spider movie is the day I'm gonna shit myself on the stream.
Oh, we're doing arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia, dude.
We're doing arachnophobia. I love that movie. That's the only good movie that I've ever seen where Kathleen Kennedy's name is plastered right on the front of it.
That's true. She is.
That's because Frank Marshall directed it. If I'm not mistaken.
But her name is like very plastered on it.
Oh yeah,
it's very prominent. It's like, but my favorite. Wait, I'll just give you my favorite spider-related movie is with the dude that plays Dewey from Scream.
Eight-legged Freaks. Eight-legged Freaks. That's my favorite spider movie.
Yeah, that was good.
If Australia had bears, they would be poisonous.
Yes. And and then this is when he comes back running with the kid, basically just
stabbing in the shoulder. So good.
And then the kid basically gets yeeted.
They only really did that because he would have got blown up if they didn't ridiculous scene.
Yeah,
but don't worry, guys. The kid survives. There you go. There he is. But
with the greatest face ever.
Yeah, and so the kid survives, but let me show you, the bridge does not.
I always love in movies with explosions that like no one accounts for the heat that would actually kill you.
Or the shrapnel. Jesus.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I can't remember where I read it. I'll say Science Magazine, but I remember reading an article way back in the day where it said that even if you're really close to an explosion, just the sheer force can turn your insides pretty much into jelly. And I'm all like, yeah. So it's like, even if you do survive the initial blast, your insides won't be able to take it because of the force and everything. And I'm like, well, great. You're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't. So
Yeah.
Like, so try not to be near an explosion at all costs.
But it's a really good like composited shot too. It doesn't really look that much CG until the very end when he's like flying in the air and switches direction.
Yeah, exactly.
It just looks so weird. And then yeah. So anyways, like they built the entire bridge to blow it up, and as is the beginning of the movie, you've got Tug Speedman coming back, and it's like
it basically redoes the opening scene.
Yes.
Yeah. It does the opening scene, and then he comes back, and
I can't feel my legs. They're
they're in a puddle.
Look, you can move them.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. It's like, look, a tear.
Yeah.
I find it great because it's like what made him cry. Yeah, it's like what made him cry was knowing that he has someone that he considers a friend and can count on, which is like could be maybe like a reflection of Hollywood, where once you get, let's say, like your stardom is down the same way the Tug Speedman is, you basically lose everyone around you. The only person that we ever see happy with him is his agent, and even then, his agent just does it because he wants to keep him as a client. We're not.
Well,
really
that's
sure.
not fair, because he does actually consider him a friend, and like that's the whole thing of like, which you didn't. We didn't get to that scene yet. Actually,
No,
go on. Yeah, I'll hold my thing for my like comment for
sure.
a moment, because it's like
you're gonna hold your thing. Gross.
I'm gonna hold my thing.
Yeah.
So we've got
ain't nothing but a thing.
Ain't nothing but a thing. So we've got the big man here with the big RPG, and someone is here
with a TiVo.
With a TiVo.
My friend wants a TiVo. My friend gets a TiVo.
This is like like I don't know. Do you guys feel like this comes out of nowhere?
Comes out of nowhere.
It doesn't make any sense. And then the best part is after he like I'm sure it's the next thing. Yeah, he throws it up to intercept the RPG. He then like runs off into the jungle.
Right,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Oh wait, just before, like let me show you the running goal.
He like turned into the Flash. He ran so fast.
This is a great Jaden Smith the dumbest payoff in movie history.
Exactly. It's like I don't know. It's like
I wish that I would have went and found like a 2008 TiVo and done that as a giveaway. Been like, hey, you want?
Oh, yeah, right. That'd been good. That's good.
Let's see how much those things even go for.
We would have actually flown out to the person's house, knocked on the door, and say, "You want the TiVo? We got the TiVo."
We got the TiVo.
So
that's
it's
good.
like it transitions to the best.
I mean, I could get that exact model for $50. It wouldn't have been
nice.
that bad.
That's nice.
Person would be like, "Isn't that shit just stored in the cloud nowadays?"
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but it's a TiVo. It's from Tropic Thunder. It's
Right.
priceless. Boom. Then yeah, we've got the best actor nominations that it transitions into, and so who do we have? We have
so it's Tom Hanks playing some sort of like paraplegic Olympian or something like I'm not really sure. Then you have John Voight in a nondescript role that is clearly just him playing John Voight.
Right.
We have the one of Tobey Maguire from earlier, which is weird because he would have been the supporting actor. It's a little strange.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also had mentioned Sean Penn, who's clearly playing a blind man.
Yes.
So,
I mean, look, RDJ played a black man, so Sean Penn is probably just playing what's his name?
Well, that's part of the joke.
Wonder,
part of the
basically.
joke is that like they're all playing people that they like really aren't. Like Tobey Maguire's not gay. You know, obviously Tom Hanks isn't paraplegic. So like that's the whole point of the joke.
And it's funny because it sounds like correct today. If an actor plays, let's say, a disabled person or something, they're likely to get nominated for an Oscar if the movie is
That's
good.
so true.
Not even if like
you
movie's
can't
great.
do that nowadays, because then they'd be like, oh no, you have to be disabled in order to play a disabled person. You know what I mean?
True.
And so that would be offensive to the masses.
That's true. And Kirk Lazarus does say at some point in this movie that how to win an Oscar, you gotta play to the crowd or whatnot. It's all
you have to play to the Academy. Is what
exactly. So,
which makes sense because he's a 5-time Oscar winner, so he would have been known that process.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we've got the seating. The only one that I spot like in extra is Jason Bateman. That's
Jason Bateman. Let's take a look because I've never actually really.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was Blake Lively, this blonde woman right here, but it's not Blake Lively.
On the right over there,
you're in between John Boyd and Jason Bateman. This blonde. I thought at first glance I thought it was Blake Lively, but I was like, it's not Blake Lively. It's not Blake Lively. I'm sorry.
There's no one really. I mean, obviously you have Danny McBride right there,
and he won an Oscar if you pay attention closely. Like when Ben Stiller is getting up to go.
Yeah, he's holding it. You can see it.
Holding it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he probably would have won for best special
effects.
Right on.
Which is funny though because those awards are on a Thursday. They're never on the. They're not
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Shows.
Yeah.
It's true.
But he's holding. So he brought his Oscar with him. Is basically
that's good. That's good.
And I love the. Do you have this clip or no?
No.
Okay, John Voight's reaction is fantastic because he's clearly pissed off.
He's pissed off. He shakes his hand,
and then he gets up and he's like, "Okay with it."
And then so it's like, Tropic Blunder, the true story behind the making of the most expensive fake true war story ever.
Nice.
It's like, I don't know, man. Why would you call it Tropic Blunder? I would have said like just call it Tropic Thunder and tell us that that's the movie we're watching. You know?
Right.
It's another lie.
Yeah, it's another layer of what we're not even sure what we're watching anymore.
Nothing was real.
That's the brilliant part of this picture is that you just do not know. Nothing is real about this picture.
That's a thinking man's joke right there.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. I like that.
Like as Copa said, it's like that's how it is. And I don't know. I think that it's well crafted enough for you to understand that while you're watching it. Maybe it might take a rewatch, for some people, but I don't know. It's just Hollywood, basically, in a nutshell.
I mean, the whole point of it was making fun of Hollywood. I think that is the fact that Hollywood was at this point still able to kind of make fun of itself was what separated that era from this era. Because right now they refuse to accept any kind of comedy about themselves.
No. Yeah. It's like everyone once you accept your Academy Award, you're a millionaire and everything. But hey, you gotta buy an electric car. It's like oh, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's nothing is worse than listening to an Academy Award speech.
For sure.
Like if you want to feel like all the anger at once, just listen to somebody who's way more privileged than you telling you need to do more.
Right.
Yeah, I blame Brando.
Ricky Gervais. Oh yeah, Brando did that with I think it was the Native
Little
American.
Yeah.
She's not even Native.
Feather.
Yeah, she's not even Native American.
No,
she's Hispanic. Yeah, she's not Native American.
But we all knew that. Like anybody who was coming up in that era, they knew that she wasn't Native American at all. It's just so funny. But yeah, he was like one of the first ones to make a political statement on stage, and then it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, there she is.
There's a lot of payoffs in this scene because of things that were mentioned earlier, kind of
like Lance.
Well, Lance. There's all the actors that get mentioned for the most part are seen in the nominees.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of small payoffs in a quick amount of time.
Oh man, I forgot the landslide. Yep.
That's okay. We'll just remember it's Lance Bass, everybody.
Yeah,
from NSYNC.
God, I love NSYNC so much. They were like
I used to love them. Sadly, I hate admitting that, but it's true.
Oh my gosh, so good. Bye. Love it.
No.
I love all of it. I love all of it.
I'm a Backstreet Boys man myself.
Yeah,
I love Backstreet Boys too. I love all of that.
So you guys
shit.
must have loved that movie. What is it? This Is the End.
Oh yeah, that's why I love This Is the End. I mean, at the end, it's like Backstreet's back. All right, it's like man, we're in heaven.
No joke. This is no joke. So in my area, they had there was the Backstreet Boys tour. They tried to turn it into a whole '90s fest this past summer. Spring. Worst experience of my life. Worst experience of my life. It was just so crowded that you couldn't move. I left. But they tried to turn it into a really a '90s festival. They were the highlight of it, but really you were there for '90s nostalgia.
Oh,
And
that
the
was
worst
awesome.
experience of my life. It was terrible. Like two,
That's
3
too
songs,
bad.
and I was like, I'm out of here.
That's a
I'm out.
bummer.
You couldn't move. You couldn't move. It was hot. It was just,
Yeah, I
It was
get
hot.
that though. I mean, whenever it's like that, and I'm in a crowd like that, I'm just like, can you guys just back off? You guys like,
Yeah.
what do you want? What do you want? A fucking hug? Get away from me! I don't like this.
Well, but see, that's the weird thing, right? That's when it's like concert season in Texas, and all of our concerts are 99% of them are outdoors in the 100-degree muggy heat or humid heat. And I've never understood that. And everybody just crowds in together, and I'm like, dude, can I just get like 2 inches on either
Right,
side?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I want.
That's what she said.
Just
Yeah.
pretend.
I was
you're
gonna say most
retarded,
would ask for
sir.
more than 2
I was
inches,
gonna say I don't think that's gonna be enough, but anyway.
But yeah, like we've got Jennifer Love Hewitt, on the screen. It's like that's
it.
my
Speaking of '90s nostalgia, I mean,
For sure.
oh yeah, it's like come on, man. Anyone seen like I Know What You Did Last Summer? Have you seen Jennifer Love Hewitt in that movie? It's like
Yeah, she's
come
great.
on. Ah, she's so
yeah.
man.
And then
I like-
obviously you have the Lance Bass scene. I'm sure
Yeah.
that if you really picked apart this whole sequence, you could find other people in there.
I like when I was watching the direct commentary, they said that they had more people, but they eventually cut it out, even out of the director's cut. But a lot of people had came in like just for like favors because Ben
Yeah.
Stiller came too.
He's friends with all of them. It's
Yeah.
that happens a lot where it's like, hey, I have like a 2-minute spot. Can you just come do this?
Mhm.
And people don't charge for that.
Matt
like-
Damon. It's like yeah, so I mean it's good, but it's funny because even with the budget, we don't really see a lot of people that much because this is like the chunk of people you see. And after that's the individual shots, and
Yeah.
you have this, but this can clearly just be a compositing shot.
I think that's a composite, or possibly totally CGI shot.
Oh,
They don't
for
even,
sure.
they don't
Yeah,
even look
he's-
like people.
Yeah, he's in front of a green screen there.
Oh yeah, and then we've got Bill Hader and
A
Les
nutless
Gross.
monkey.
A nutless monkey could do your job.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Thank
don't
you,
worry.
sir.
It's like, go party, go have fun. It's like, oh yeah. No, seriously, a nutless monkey can do your job.
I love it.
So good.
Damn.
So good.
Come on, man. Then I guess, boom.
Get the
That's
Les
it.
Grossman dance.
Do you have the Les Grossman dance?
No, man. They
Oh,
have
come on.
they have a Ludacris's Get Back playing.
Oh
over
yeah, I
it.
guess the music
yeah.
would have screwed it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Music would have fucked us up. But
Yeah, music
I mean,
copyright is way worse than film.
Oh
copyright.
yeah, it's like
They're
3 seconds and
yeah,
that's it.
they're hardcore about it. It's
But yeah, just imagine, get back, motherfucker. You don't know me like that. It's like, yeah,
And literally, this was like his like stipulation. He wanted to dance in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
just like
I just want to dance.
it's like he just wanted to dance, and it's cool
I've-
because like you've got the song that they use, so Get Back by Ludacris. The actual video for the song is Ludacris wearing like a sort of fat suit on his arms and just pushing people. So it's like Les Grossman also just wearing a fat suit. It's like it's symbolic in a way.
That's
That's
good.
amazing.
Oh man.
so
Then
they
we've got,
the one thing I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Like I
Okay.
had it and I just lost
Huh.
it.
the one
Yeah, a
thing.
lot of people
I
think
remember. The
that-
one thing I was gonna say is I recently read that Tom Cruise is still interested in doing a spin-off about Les Grossman.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
he's-
going to
he's
do a
still-
Les Grossman movie or show for like the longest time, but I think the
I'd
show's
watch
in the
it.
works again, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'd watch it.
I
And
think
the best
Tom-
part is he can do it now, like even older,
Yeah.
because he hasn't aged much, but it's all prosthesis on his like face
Yeah.
and stuff. So.
As long as he can still dance, there we
Yeah.
go. That's all we need, man. So
Yeah.
out of all the names I'm showing on screen, who was your favorite character if you had to choose one?
I mean, I don't think it's possible.
Well, you
I'm
have to.
choosing. I'm choosing.
Yeah, I'm choosing.
Yeah, it's Kurt Lazarus. Hands down. Like there is not one scene where I don't roll over, just die laughing every time he's on screen. Sorry. Like he is just funny from start to finish.
Yeah, for me, it's Les Grossman. I love this character. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
He's great. He's great, especially the fact that it's Tom Cruise just makes me really happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
think
forgot.
I think the pound for pound best guy is definitely Danny McBride.
Oh,
That's great.
you're like me, man.
Oh,
Danny
are you
McBride
saying
is my
that because he's
favorite.
chunky?
No, that doesn't have a lot
Pound
of.
for pound.
He doesn't have minute for minute, whatever you want to say. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but every time he's on screen, it's amazing. Like like his.
I mean, I have yet to watch something with him where he sucks. You know what I mean?
Right,
He's just
yeah.
always a scene stealer. But I will say, like, upon doing this stream, I did forget how much I really loved Les Grossman. So I would probably go with Les Grossman myself as well as Matt Cat.
Les for the win. And so, I mean, for me, it would be, like Danny McBride easily. And, if it wasn't Danny McBride, then Matthew McConaughey, because, I mean,
he was great too. Yeah.
Till the very end.
Honestly, I can't think of a single person who wasn't well done.
Yeah.
Like, even the small
correct.
characters. Like, what was the guy's name that you were saying? The guy who was the second in command for the drug.
Tran.
No,
that was the kid.
No, his second. Something
I don't
Lee,
remember.
I think you said his name was.
Yeah, the character.
No, the actor.
Oh, the actor's name is Reggie Lee.
Reggie Lee. Like,
I don't remember the name of the character though.
Even
sorry.
his like 4 scenes are fantastic. Like him like staring at the. It's a lineless scene after he does the flaming dragon thing. Him just staring at the phone in disbelief. Like
when he had that look, I'm like, that's the look I get when my mother yells at me on the phone. I'm just like, what?
I say we gotta like do like we have to like Photoshop or like video shop it. Like, now listen.
Oh man.
So I did actually star a couple of comments, and we did have a late super chat. So let's do the super chat first.
Let's do it.
So RRT and Z. Lots of Aussies here. RDJ's accent is like Will Smith's Nigerian accent. He sounds like an Australian with a concussion. Huntsman spiders are great.
As someone who grew up in West Africa around lots of Nigerians, I mean, my brother-in-law that like is with me, he's Nigerian, and it's like the accents that they give African people in even Wakanda Forever and stuff like that. It's like Black Panther. It's like it's so fucking like. It's offensive as shit to me, to be honest.
When they talk like this,
right?
I just want to say thank you to RRT and Z for that.
Yes, thank you for the
and anybody else who I possibly missed on the super chat. It's like saying thank you, all of you. I just want.
Yes,
we love you. We love your contributions. They go a long way.
We do.
I did have a couple of starred non-super chats that I wanted to acknowledge. This one we missed it. I missed the chance to do it, but one of my favorite lines in the movie is when he takes the drugs and shoves them into the face of the two guys.
Yes.
And he says we only have 16 hours until they wake up.
Yes, he knows exactly when you're gonna wake up.
For me, it's Jay Baruchel's reaction. He's just there like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's good.
And then I had
and it's those little things that make or break a film, right? Is the reaction to the joke.
Well, I think that the like Tropic Thunder specifically, it was some of the main humor for me, for example, came from the character's reactions to a character to an actor delivering the most outlandish thing in such a serious way, and then you just have the character reactions like stare at them. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like it just makes me laugh so hard.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's like you could just tell that everybody had fun with this movie.
Right.
Like, but in that good way, not in that like everybody had fun and just didn't do their job kind of way. Yeah. Like everybody had fun but took it seriously at the same time, which is great.
For sure.
This one was from channel friend Vex Electronica, specifically her gaming channel, it seems. This is kind of a debate question that we could all say. Would Robert Downey Jr. have won an Oscar if it weren't for Heath Ledger's Joker?
I would say no. They
I would
never
say
give
no
them out
also.
for comedies.
Yeah,
like you rarely see a comedy like get any sort of award or the
Golden
actors
Globes
within.
only because it has its own category.
Yeah,
Although
or
he
like
definitely
Emmys, but
deserves
not Oscars.
Yeah.
So is this like a 2008 or 2009 Oscar?
2008. Well, it would have been the 2009
yeah.
Oscars to 2008 movie.
Let me check all the nominees.
I believe Sean Penn was nominated that year as well.
He was.
Was that Milk?
Milk?
Yeah.
Maybe?
No, because he won, didn't he?
No, he
I
didn't
think
win.
so. Well, he won for Milk.
Oh,
I
we're
thought.
we're talking about supporting actor though.
Supporting actor.
My bad.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
for supporting actor, yeah.
God, who was
Then let me
supporting
check.
actor then?
Well, we'll just have to wait till it's looked up.
Well, obviously Heath
Yeah.
Ledger.
So we've got Philip Seymour Hoffman for a movie called Doubt, Heath Ledger for The Dark Knight, Michael Shannon for Revolutionary Road, RDJ for Tropic Thunder, and Josh Brolin for Milk.
So
Yeah,
RDJ
so-
did get nominated.
He
So
did.
yeah,
he
he,
got
might-
nominated.
he may have won it had it not been
I don't
for.
remember that.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I don't
possibility.
He definitely deserved it.
I
Oh,
wish
just-
they would,
I
like.
agree.
I wish they would later put out like what the like voted like because like if it's done like any other thing, like clearly there's a group of people that vote. I wish they would put out like the percentages or something afterwards.
Well, I don't know because do you guys? Well, I'm really not sure. Well, because on the one hand, it's a movie about like Hollywood, so they always give Oscars to anything related to Hollywood themselves. That's how like egotistical they are. And then on the other hand, also it's a comedy. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might have
comedies
just-
usually don't get much.
Yeah, they
exactly.
don't. I'm even surprised he got like a nomination, to be honest. I don't watch the
Yeah.
Oscars. I find them to be too damn pretentious, and I feel like
Right.
they just vote for all these like indie movies versus something that's actually being watched a lot. So I don't watch them, but I've rarely ever seen a comedy like get anything out of an Oscar.
I have a feeling that might have been one of those. He did two movies right back to back that were so well received that they just kind of picked one of them and gave him the nomination.
I mean,
And they
Iron
did
Man, maybe. Like,
that's what I'm saying is Iron Man and Tropic Thunder came out and people were just loving the shit out of Robert Downey Jr. at that point.
yeah.
I feel like had they not given him the not at least a nomination, it may have negatively affected their viewership.
Well, yeah, because
So-
it's like this. It's like the underdog story. You know, RDJ was big. He fell into a lot of problems. Then it was finally his comeback year. He has like 2 smash hit movies, like critically acclaimed. So, where's I mean, at that point, you're like forced to nominate him by pressure. You know.
And then
So-
on top of that, it's like, he would go on after this to just stratospherically
Oh yeah.
the level of which he became known after this was insanity. And it's weird because he's kind of like doing this again, sort of, because like after he decided to not do the MCU anymore, he went hard in on Doolittle, and it was like
Oh yeah.
no one gave a shit.
Right.
And so then it wasn't until
Yeah.
now Oppenheimer came out, and like people were like, "Oh yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is still a thing." Like,
And look,
So he's-
yeah, like in 2009, he followed up with Sherlock Holmes, critically acclaimed. Also, everyone loved it.
he
Made
mentions
a lot
that
of
in
money.
the commentary too, because like he was filming for Sherlock Holmes while he was doing the commentary, and they were like, "Well, how's that working with you refusing to break character for this movie?" He's like, "Elementary, my dear Watson, elementary." It was like he even said he didn't know who was playing Watson. He was like, "I don't know."
And RDJ is like a national treasure.
Mhm.
Just,
But yeah,
just for this
the
performance
fact that he
alone.
has to kind of reinvent himself again is weird nowadays.
Mm.
Which is interesting because he wasn't like he wasn't a household name prior to all the
He
crack
was a hou-
smoking.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
household name for several reasons. One of which was not the best.
Yeah, but I mean, he was widely hailed as a great actor even in his earlier career, like after.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like the drug thing really took him down for a minute. Like
Yeah, and
as far
so-
as his stigma and all that,
Right. So he finally got help with Michelle Pfeiffer, and they brought him on what was that show? Oh God, he was on Ally McBeal. And they brought him on, but like all of a sudden, like everybody had the stipulation of like you have to be clean, and he
Yeah.
just couldn't stay clean, so he got fired from Ally McBeal, and he wasn't getting any jobs until he got clean. And I want to say it was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was
2006.
the beginning of his comeback, where people
He's
and
had
it was
a very
Joel.
interesting career.
Yeah, he has a fantastic career, and he's a fantastic actor, hands down.
Oh, he is.
I'm just saying his career, like it's like a roller coaster with him, though. It's like most people, it's like you have this trajectory, and then you either have a fall or like you just kind of plateau. Him, it's been like his, and
Yeah.
then he had the big loop, and then now it's
Yep.
like
Well, I mean, now I think that everyone that was part of the MCU needs to rebuild themselves. Well, those that were basically only doing MCU movies at that time. For example, you get someone like Sebastian Stan. I don't think that he needs to build his career outside of the MCU because he's been doing so many great indie films.
Yeah,
where he's just like been acting his ass off while playing the Winter Soldier. So people know that he's he can do both. But for someone like RDJ, it's like you've been playing this character for so long. Is it even possible for you to play someone that isn't Iron Man?
I think you're
he's
right.
also shouldered the entire MCU for the longest time.
Yeah.
But it also
Iron Man
depends-
is the backbone of it.
For sure.
I think it also depends on where in your career you were at when you got MCU'd, so to say. Like Scarlett Johansson was already kind of like getting to that. Like she got in at a good time, but then when she got out, she was kind of past that like leading lady status anymore.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So like had she gotten out a little sooner, she might have been able to catapult.
Maybe like she's not really being cast in like femme fatale roles anymore.
No.
Which I find weird. It's like she's now being like cast in stuff like Marriage Story, which it's great. She can act her ass off and stuff like Marriage Story, but it's like I don't know when's the next time we're gonna see Scarlett in a really like nice dress trying to seduce someone or something like that.
I think it's past that unless they would have to really change some things with like the way because she's kind of already gotten out of that part of her career. And then like you have like Chris Evans who really hasn't been able to break out of the Captain America funk.
Well, I mean, I think that Chris Evans is a different issue because Chris Evans, I don't think that he has that much range. For example, if you look at all the teen movies that he used to do, and then even into Fantastic Four and Captain America, it was basically just a little variation of Chris Evans, and he's never been. I even watched his last movie, like the Netflix one, Deep Red Sea Diving Resort, where he tries to be a bit serious. He just looks like all I see is Captain America. He can't act.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But then you have like people like Jeremy Renner who can easily break out of the Hawkeye role. Like he's
for sure.
Yeah, like so it depends on where you land in that. Like, I think one of the reasons why it's been hard for Robert Downey is because it was at a lull point of his career. It catapulted him, and then he didn't really have much going on in the meantime. So it's like that's all he was. Matt, you just told me that you need to go soon, so I'm going to let you have your outro here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great.
Shout out your stuff, man.
Shout out your stuff, all that good stuff.
Great. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Geek What, where I just I break down TV shows and movies and stuff, and I talk about entertainment news and stuff. Anything geeky, I talk about it. I also have a podcast with my sister. It's called BS Drunk Movie Reviews, where we get drunk and we review movies. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and you guys can check it out and everything if you're so interested. If not, I understand. I get it. There's a lot of stuff out there, but yeah, that's my story. I'm sorry I have to leave. My children are breaking down right now.
No, it's okay. We're coming to the close of this anyway. So you made it almost the entire way. You made it like 99.9%.
Right. Yeah, I wish I could make for the rest of it. I
it's
really
always
do.
a pleasure, my friend. You're
yes,
one of my favorite
so much
people
fun
to
with
stream with in
thank
the
you. That's
entire
so kind
world.
of you.
And listen, I want you back as soon as we can get you back on.
Yes,
we do.
I'll have fun. I'll have more fun with stories about my mother. She's pretty great. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I will see you guys later.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
See you, man.
Bye.
Okay, now that I'm the only one here with a, I'm gonna stop my cam and go to this.
Oh my god.
So,
Okay, time to turn
but
on
yeah.
my camera. Turn on your cameras, guys.
No, I think we're pretty much at the end here anyway. So I guess Copa, do you I know we already kind of did like a quick thing for you.
Yeah.
But if you want to drop some stuff about yourself.
Plug your shit, man.
Okay, all right. I feel like I'm on the spot. You can come hang out with me at Copa Catania. I believe the link's in the description. So just click on that link
in the description.
And it will be on the repost as well.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm dropping my Extraction 2 review, another action movie. Can you believe that, guys?
No,
my god.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, I'm dropping an Extraction 2 review tomorrow, 11:30. It will premiere, and after that, I'm talking to this guy right below me, the uninspired reviewer. Yeah, he's coming on. He picked your favorite movie of the week, which is going to be The Faculty, starring Selma Hayek. It's only for like 5 minutes, but still, Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek and her 2 exquisite breasts will star in that movie.
I'm not
Selma
really a
Hayek's
boob
Hayek.
guy, but dude. Anyways, so yeah, Selma Hayek's in it, but the uninspired reviewer is going to be on my show, so that's going to be special. Yeah, and we're going to be chatting it up about that movie, having a good discussion.
Yep.
Very surprising stuff. Can't wait to talk to him about it because not something I thought he was going to pick, but here we are. The Faculty, 98.
I'm a reluctant alpha at best. That's I don't. That was actually a coined phrase of an ex-girlfriend of mine years ago. She said I was a reluctant alpha, and I was like, that's because I don't want to act like that at all. But sometimes you just gotta.
Don't worry, you can do it, Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
That's a poor man's Joe Rogan to you, sir.
I'm Jose Rogaine.
Oh, there you go.
Rennie, would you like to? I know you don't really have like things you post or anything, but I know you appear on some stuff. So
yeah. So you can typically find me from time to time on Mr. Brown Alliance's channel. I also just want to plug real quick a couple of friends of mine that I've streamed with, which is Outcast Creative, aka Lance, but not Lance Bass. And then Ms. Martin Muses. Really both great content, very a lot of intellectual discussions as well. And same thing with Brown's channel. But with Brown's, we do bog down a little bit, so we have to bog back up.
Well, Mr. Brown Alliance, I want to say this about it. And I know most of the people who have watched this and probably will watch this have seen. That is the most underrated channel I think I've ever seen on anything. Like, I've never seen such a great thing that like I only wish the best for him, because I want to see more people see what that crew can do. Not just Mr. Brown himself, but all the people that are involved are hilarious. Their movie breakdowns are some of the best you'll ever see. I'm trying to get him to make like a super cut of some of them so I can go like pawn it out to like the EFAP fans and stuff. But yeah, he's it's a great channel, and Rennie is often there, as well as like Little Platoon and Movie Cynic. So
yep.
Yeah. And we did do some pretty serious movies as well, like Godfather and Godfather 2.
I think that was the first one.
Rambo.
The first one I believe I ever watched was Godfather with you guys. I think that was the first one I ever saw. It was so like that, like I watched when someone had told me about Mr. Brown Alliance. That was, I think, the first one I ever watched with the Godfather. So
yeah, I kind of pushed for it because I love those movies and I watch them every year, and I can't believe he allowed us to do it. So it was a lot of fun.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
And so Lance from the Outcast Creative, he's in the chat over there, so you guys can go sub to him. Awesome content. And he always has industry people there. So I mean, it's pure knowledge basically from the people that are making movies themselves. So, don't miss out. And congratulations, Lance, on the monetization too.
Yes, congrats on that, Lance.
Congrats, my boy Lance. Congratulations.
And I do have one more starred thing that I saw this earlier, and it was when I mentioned that there's going to be a special stream in the near future. So I'll tell you guys our very near schedule. Next week we're off. We do this bi-weekly. The following week we're doing Blade over on my channel, which with some I haven't confirmed everybody yet, but bringing back Golden Age Geek. And I think Z3PO is going to be on that one. Another fantastic person. And then the following week, we will be back on my channel for an extremely special non-Little Mermaid related stream. But it will have a very special guest. And I will say this, it's probably someone who, if not for this person, this channel, my channel, would not exist. So
I figured it out.
Same for me too. So
yeah. So let's just put it this way. It's somebody you guys aren't going to want to miss. That's kind of what I'm right now. I'm doing personally. I'm doing some writing for a couple of video essays that are going to be about why Ray sucks so badly, which will be capped off with another fight scene review that I haven't done one of those in a while. I know people have been asking me about, so I'm going to do one for that and why her fight scenes suck. So. But yeah, that's what I got, and then I'll yield to the man of the channel, the uninspired reviewer, for what he's got going on.
Yeah, thank you guys already. Thanks to the panel for coming together. Thank you for being our guests, Copa, Rennie, and of course Matt, who left us. And as always, thank you, my co-host Dark Hour. And yeah, thank you to the chat also for coming in. We really, really do appreciate you, man. As always, as Mr. Brown says, we are nothing without you, lovely folks in the chat. And it's true, we aren't. So concerning my channel, I am still working on my Barbie review. I know that I haven't posted in a month, but I've been dealing with a few stuff. So I've been live streaming a lot lately, to make up for it. But I'm going back to the scripted reviews very, very soon. I'm getting Barbie, Talk to Me, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I'm gonna do that over Gran Turismo because I'm a big fan of Andre Ovredal, as people on my channel know. I've already made a video on Troll Hunter, which is probably the best troll movie ever. And yeah, so those will be coming out in a few weeks. And I also have a special Scream retrospective video coming for Halloween because when Scream 6 came out, I told you guys that I would cover it, but I didn't. And I promised you guys I'd do a retrospective on the entire franchise. Hey, I love Wes Craven, man. So and so yeah, that's it for me. You guys want to give a last minute shout out or anything like that? Or are you good?
No, I'm good. I say we just try to do this timing thing with that.
All right, so we're gonna try doing timing. We've got an outro, and if it doesn't work, well, you'll see us here, and I'll just say timing and end the broadcast, basically. So thank you to everyone for coming. We hope you enjoyed everything, and thank you once again, and we shall see you very, very soon. Bye everyone.
Bye.